Hello all and welcome. I'm your not so humble game master TJ, and this is Dice of Ages presenting CrestVahllen, the Argent Flame, forged in chaos. This is episode. Well, we're doing episode
98,
99.
Almost there.
Yeah. What's up?
You've got the wrong logo on.
I do.
Also, we can't,
I do.
and we
Still
can't see
Oh,
us.
that's okay. We'll change that.
can't
That's
see
because from the one
ourselves.
shot.
Yeah, we totaled that part.
Ah, well.
I can't see my
There we
pretty
go.
face.
We're on
Now
the ball today.
Yeah, we're on the yeah, we've fallen off the ball, off of the rail tracks, fallen down the cliff, are hanging on by a thread. It's
Amazing.
128 hours here. Okay, cool. So I have this for you guys. I'll give
Thank you.
it. You got it. So welcome back.
Yep.
Announcements so
Bang.
far. Well, let's do challenges and questions. Does anybody have a challenge for me for some world inspiration?
I was supposed to think of something.
I have.
Nope.
I have two questions. If you want me to start those while you guys are thinking about them. What is the name of Lady Masha's husband?
Oh, fuck.
I don't think that's
books
right.
again. God,
I know.
I gotta bring both of my notebooks.
Sounds like a personal problem.
I mean, 1 second.
You do, or you have to just consolidate all into one
never
book.
organize.
Noelle used to have one notebook and used to turn it upside down.
Yeah.
Guess
and
what I
pull
did
the
this
back
time?
in order to do it. You did it.
I'm gonna do it
Oh God, you're so
with
sexy.
with the proper
I mean-
color for Trisheni now.
I mean, we can edit that out.
but
Yeah.
I've done that for the one shots.
Yeah.
So the one shots are in the back of.
The problem is that
book.
if the campaign goes on, you have a limited amount of space
Oh,
left,
yeah.
and you're like, "Fuck! What happens when you get to the middle of the book?"
right. Well, you know. Hold on.
Right.
His name, correct?
What was the name of Aeon's inn? Aeon and Pernua's inn.
Ooh, okay. You are you ready with the clock for me? This is in Sasso, correct?
Correct.
Go ahead. Start the time.
Go.
You got it right here.
I have it now too.
Not our question.
Oh, okay.
The fresh flask. Sorry.
I've got the answer to.
When you can control F, it's not as fair.
We could do it too.
You could do it too.
Alberico Ehrenbach.
Yes, it has a bit of an Italian thing, so it's just
Alberico.
Alberto.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, but you got it. Yes. Go ahead, take your die. I have another question for you. I want to just say, I want to make sure one of you doesn't get the benefit of this, so I have to figure out how I'm going to ask.
Cool.
Just so it seems even.
In the form of a question.
In the
What
form of a-
is?
You must answer in the form of
Form
a
of-
question.
Then is it an answer?
How do you, without looking at the maps? Well, I guess.
If you can
could.
look it up,
Yeah.
can we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay. How do you spell the farthest eastern city of them all?
Brackstar?
How do you spell it?
I
The world
made
map's
this.
right there.
It's not on there. Do you know what map it's on?
Yeah, it should be on there, but it's since I named
It's
this.
getting up to look at the map.
I think it's Braxdaar. Brackstar.
You got it? There you go. You got a second one.
I mean, I did name the city though, and
Well, that was
did.
kind of a soft serve question then.
That's why I was like, she's going to have advantage on this. But that's why I said, okay, how do you spell it? Because she named it, but then I spelled it.
Braxdaar.
A-R-R. I believe it's two R's.
Daar.
Double A is not
A-R.
double
Yeah.
I thought it was like, double X, double A, double R. You know,
I was listening to David Bowie at that point. It's just,
double C, C, C.
yeah.
So, all right, I have one more, and then unless you guys have challenges.
How many times did I write ball again in my notes?
Go high
So
low,
upset.
high low.
Ooh,
Right.
more than once.
Hate this.
How did you spell it though?
How do you spell?
Is there an umlaut?
How do you spell? Abulagaga. So
be
just
the name of a
refuse.
town
It's got to
now.
sound original. You're like, okay, well, let's just put accent marks and extra consonants and don't and an H here. I know Adam gets mad at me for that.
So if I asked you a similar, like, what's in a city, you would have that in your notes, wouldn't you?
Probably.
I mean, just ask me the question, and if I view it valid, then I'll.
What 3 gods had shrines in Sasso?
This is a valid question. However, remember things have changed, so I will be giving you their honorifics.
Yes.
Not necessarily their
Yep.
proper names, but their more portfolio titles. Does
Yeah.
that make more sense?
Yep.
So instead of like the Raven Queen, it would be like the Matron of Death or
Yes.
some bullshit like
Yep.
that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go. Hit me. Time me.
Go.
The King of Water,
Yep.
the Mother of Nature,
Yep.
and I have the name here. I'm just not familiar with what the portfolio was. It was another personified as a female deity, also somewhat associated with nature. It was a Sehenin. Sehenin was
Yep.
the thing, but I don't know what it is we put
You
in.
called her, like, daughter of the night sky.
Right. Yes. And so, like, very similarly related to like the
Saloon,
Moon
yeah.
factions and the Moon Dancers, but like kind of the daughter of the people of the mistress of the Moonlit Night, which is the person who the Moon Dancers and the Dark Elves of that faction worship as their deity. That's the mistress of the Moonlit, or the matron of the matriarch of the Moonlit Night. Whatever you say, whatever aliases you want, and that the daughter of what was it? Daughter of the Moon.
Daughter of the night sky.
Daughter of the Night Sky is like her de facto daughter in the pantheon. Not necessarily always the moon, but it is often prevalent in the sky. Cool.
So don't challenge him on store names or
I
City
often have to.
landmarks.
The thing is, I often have
he
to
only got
prepare
2
that,
out
so
of
it's
the
always
3.
in my notes. I'm sorry. Go
You
ahead.
only got 2 out of the 3. You gave him the third one, so I think you get half.
Well,
an
I have them all
inspiration.
He was-
here. I was just trying to not give them proper
Yeah.
names due to IP stuff.
Oh,
he was
okay.
trying to think of how to describe
Yeah.
the third one. He had
Because
it.
things changed during our thing, so I'm just trying to make sure everything's on.
He got
on
to
the
that
level.
section of his notes by like 15 seconds.
Yeah. Because I have a whole
I'll take
page
the
that's
F
just
on that.
about Sasso. I have a whole document that's just about Sasso. I have a whole document for each nation and each city.
I'll take the L.
So random.
All right, last one.
Did you give me? Did I ask you the last one?
No.
This is the third one, correct?
I said I'll take the L
Oh yeah.
because
yeah,
I've
sorry.
challenged twice
Uh,
and you got both of them.
What? If you get, this is going way back. If you can remember, and I believe it might be delving in some of the one shots and some of the other that are still canonical in world. What is one of the affluent family names that is part of the city that is not under the protection of the dome of Babas, that is north of Babas?
Oh.
Search through your file.
I know. I'm doing it. I'm trying.
Ooh, I like that word. Sorry. My vocabifile stuff, whatever it's called, wordophile. A doyen. Ooh, I love that.
Do you really need a third inspiration?
I have the city name, but I don't have anything about
I
it.
mean,
Okay,
I can
that
always give it to
you get
guys.
one for knowing the city name
It's fine.
or town name.
Karasova?
Karasova is correct. Yes, it is the. So you can get one for that.
But I don't think I have any notes about anything about that city other than it's the rich suburbs of
Yeah. Hold on.
Babas.
So,
Jasper would know this.
Well,
Or yeah, and
Queenie?
James would know
okay.
it better.
Oh. I don't have it. I remember what the rich people are. I have Karsova.
Do you want a hint? One of the members that was traveling with you with your group belonged to this family. At least it's one of the families that is there.
Probably Darius.
Yeah, I didn't write down his last name though.
I don't think you ever gave it to us.
Darius's last name is Daranov, I believe. I just want to double check how I spell that. Yeah, may not have been. I thought it was something that was revealed perhaps in one of the one shots. Jasper, the Queenie and Darius had discussed it during some of their chats.
I don't think we did,
But that's okay.
but could be wrong.
And I will double check just so you guys have the spelling of it. I will give it to you. Darius. Alegria. I don't know why every time I say that I just think of the Alegria show from Cirque du Soleil. Daranov. Daurenov. Their family is one of the rich and affluent families that it's kind of like a rich person gated community up there that doesn't really need the protection of the dome shield because they have enough money and resources where they can just have guards and people to take care of it, and they don't have to be subject to the rules that Babas wants to do that on them. Yeah, pretty much it's their offshore account city. That makes sense. So the Daranovs. Cool. Any other challenges before we move on? Okay, let's do it. So. I'm like afraid to let Argus into Babas because he wants to burn the whole city down. I also don't know how
Please don't.
Zemdek's going to get in.
Well, if the wall's down.
The charm doesn't work.
The what doesn't work?
If the bubble is down.
The bubble's down.
No, it's not. It had a. You remember the if you remember correctly, there was a breach that was soon after fixed, and there was an incursion, and because of that, and the incursion was blamed upon the lack of faith, because like the bubble is supposedly powered by the faith of those and with it to the Sultan of Sand, and which is why they started to do
Purges.
fundamental, like return to fundamentalism, zealot type of thing to try to, you get the idea. Okay. So, let's get right into
no
it.
God, no kings, and then you follow me, so I have 30 feet where you can actually go in.
Not a bad idea. We'll see. We'll see if your channel divinity is able to overpower that of one that has lasted for who knows how many millennia.
If it was breached, it negates divine magic.
Been breached once, it can get breached again. Or my new idea for Conk, or I don't know, I have a name for this new one yet, but
Possibly. Yeah. You're Mark III.
yeah.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. I did tell you guys the name of the current establishment that has taken over in place. It was I believe it was like the Order of Ascendancy, is what I believe I told you. The Ascendant, at least the people that were walking around were the poop. I know someone has it down. Yeah, the Order of Ascendancy is like the sect of religious zealots who rose to power after the breach. And I will... It was offhandedly mentioned when you were trying to travel underground as to like who was in charge and what they were called. Be like, oh, don't get caught by the Ascendants or something like that.
Right.
Let's not forget that I still have this. Doctor potion.
Doctor Nurse.
Right, we do
Doctor
still
Tom.
have. Yeah.
Okay. Now what are you drawing?
I'm still working on the symbol.
I just see dicks everywhere.
Are you-
I see.
What?
Are you coming up with symbols for like months?
For the
Don't say it.
for
Oh,
stuff. For
okay.
stuff.
Oh, for the
For stuff. Yeah.
Don't forget to.
Some of them definitely look like the D.
The picture of 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, no on that one.
I'm talking about that one.
What? Really?
Oh, I see it.
I was super happy about that one. Okay. Bye.
I mean, now you have to give me the option.
You can get that one as a tattoo, though. It's okay.
Noelle's first tattoo is
Yeah.
a hieroglyph of 2 girls, 1 cup.
hieroglyphic interpretation.
It's like it's on her wrist because drama.
I'm thinking completely like totally
White
tramp
girl
stamp.
wrist tattoo. Come on, drama.
I'm not about drama.
You're not. You're fully not. You are white, but
Yeah, no, I will burn in the sun.
I'm not trying to.
No. If you see that, then I don't want it.
if you see that, I don't.
I just thought the Cody goes, oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, the fact that
Cody's just like, yeah, it's par for the course.
Yeah.
Okay.
damn it.
Just for your reference, because just to clear up stuff, because we did a lot of exposition last time, the Primarch is not spelt like the other title of Primarch is because I don't care and I want to guess fuck with language and stuff. It's Primmarch rather than with a K at the end.
2 M's?
No, everything's the same. The regular Primarch
Sorry,
word, it's
you
just
just
a K
said
instead
2
of a
M's.
CH. Primmarch.
Like with a J, but you don't. It isn't where you think.
Prime
it is.
Arch is different dialects is how they pronounce it, and that again,
Prime Mark. I wouldn't have like
yeah,
it could have 2
Primarch.
M's.
It's because of just
Prime Mark.
old languages and how things change.
just-
Why people say crick instead of creek, which always
Making
pisses
sure
me
I
off.
spell it correctly so I don't
You got it.
upset you.
Why like color is spelt 2 different
Fine,
ways and stuff like that.
rope.
It's kind of along those lines.
We're good there.
Depending on the UK, like always bugs me. Gray is spelt with an A sometimes in different ways.
Or an E.
I like the British with the E. I like the E. I will always go with the E, and I don't like it being the other way. Like they almost seem like they have 2 different definitions in my head canon. But anyway,
So, yeah.
so Primarch, I did want to talk to you about before I go through this. You guys know the Primarch's name because she came up with it. It's Malakim, M-A-L.
Okay.
Akim, Malakim, and we talked about this out of game with Noel and I, but it is very, and they have a surname as well, but technically it's similar to Japanese where the surname is the first name that's always referenced rather than the last, than the second one. And it's very impolite to refer to the second one, which is the more informal name, especially to someone like the Primarch, unless you actually like know them personally or deal with them on a daily basis. That's something where guards
Primarch
could get
Malakim.
upset and like start to beat you. Kind
Primarch
of bullshit.
Malakim. It's not.
Yeah,
don't
you
say the other.
never say anything else out loud. If you're like having a private discussion, maybe like whatever. It's just very impolite.
Is there any?
You might say the full name if you're trying to add like some salt of disrespect onto the name, but go ahead.
I'm just assuming Meckel doesn't know his first name.
Meckel wouldn't even
Wouldn't
know who
his
the
private-
Primarch was because you were so alienated and
I'm just looking for
isolationist.
fodder. That's all.
yeah. But you do. But Noel Trishani does know like it's Akan Upu, Akan Upu. It's a phonetic way where I will show it to you here for the rest of you so you guys
I was
can
gonna say,
see.
Is there any like
There's phonetic
Yeah.
symbols as to how it is pronounced. I'm gonna show it on something here real quick for you, so you can see it on the screen here in just a second.
Akin Upu Malakim.
So it is like this, okay? Akan apostrophe upu. This B symbol right here is like a combination of a P and a B sound kind of combined. Something that us in our colloquial English don't ever use, but it's akan upu. So it's just a more percussive B. And this U is like a U. It's not quite an umlaut type of sound, but it's more of a double O. But less than like the ooh. It's more of like ooh, just the tongue goes farther back, and it's not quite an umlaut. It's somewhere between ooh, double O, and umlaut, something like that. So it's upu.
Does Malakim
You call him Upu.
Now,
have any?
Malakim is just like a surname, proper name.
No,
that
I mean-
they did. Malakim does not have any extra symbols. No,
Okay.
no
Is
extra
it
symbols, no apostrophes or anything like that.
Malakim?
Malakim, one
One
word. No, nothing changes. Regular symbol.
No
regular,
apostrophes. No.
No, regular Arabic, English symbols. I'm sorry, not Arabic. That's numerical. Regular,
Latin.
just
No, not even that.
no phonetic stuff. Technically, this upu right here is a honorific suffix. It is not actually part of the name that they were given. It is an honorific suffix, and in fact, upu is a honorific suffix that is the combination of two of the main honorific suffixes. One
You're getting
is
into the weeds, my friend.
yeah. This is stuff that we talked about, and I wanted to be to Noelle because she's the one. Her and her sister
Okay,
grew
sorry.
up here, and this was part of her culture, and it's going to become important because
Sure.
it's going to be important to how you talk to people, how how persuasion checks go. About it's if you walk up to for example, if you're a tourist in Japan and you just start calling people by their first name, they're going to be like, "What the fuck, you Gaijin?" Like they're going to be really upset about it. Because it's very important to speak in the proper dialect as to where you fit. In
So,
society.
can you give an example of addressing the Primarch?
If you're addressing the Primarch themselves,
Yes.
you don't say anything until you are spoken to.
Yes, but at the end, if you were saying yes,
Just their title.
Aknupu, just
No.
Upu,
No,
The Primarch.
Primarch.
Just the title.
Okay.
The honorific
Or-
suffix is not part of the title. It is an honorific suffix is sometimes given posthumously, but it's the combination of two honorific suffixes.
Well, like
What's that?
His Majesty, my liege. Like
You could
is
do that
there,
type
like
thing.
a holy one or like a,
Yeah. I mean, like that's fine. That's fine. Just anything like that. If the Primarch would be like any other type of ruling person. If you do that type of thing, as long as it's not
A
like,
title
way out of the way, you go like
symbolically
yes,
equivalent
daimyo,
to-
and be like, what? I'm not a daimyo. That doesn't make any sense. Like unless it's way out of left field,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's appropriate. You can get creative and you can make sure that you're not just saying yes, Primarch, yeah, as you wish, Primarch, blah 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 blah. Although there's a lot of yes men that do that. Anyway, so it's a combination of two honorific suffixes,
Argus wannabe.
of which one is oop, which is just the U symbol and the B symbol, which is the suffix, the honorific suffix for defender. It could mean defender of like military. It could be defender of like force, emotional, metaphysical, or like or legality or anything like that. Any type of someone that is helping somebody else defend themselves from some other type of threat or bring somebody else up. It's that whole supporting that and being on the front lines to have someone behind you. That's kind of like the defender. There's two big parts of the society of everything that deserve that type of honor, and the other is like a uniter or a leader. Someone who manages it, like someone who helps gather people together, someone who's like make sure things are heard. Like the broadest sense of these words is what I mean. It's like it's a very very catch-all. So it's either most often falls into either the defender or the uniter-led leader. The uniter-led leader is the boo. So them together, if they get both honorifics, which is very rare, becomes upu. So oop and pu. At the same time, they just kind of conjunction, and the you don't get a double BP sound. It just gets put in.
So there's no poo poo.
No.
So
I
like
mean, there is people do poo-poo, but it's not.
someone who's just acting as a bodyguard might be oop.
If they are like renowned and highly respected,
Correct, yeah.
and they have like some sort of like folk
chief
hero
of security
status,
for nobility would be oop.
perhaps, yeah. If it like it's not just because you have high status, it's also because you have some sort of
Renown.
folk hero thing, or like some people like actually revere you for like something that you did. It's kind of like how someone would be knighted because they did something or be given the Nobel Prize, or be given some other title, like someone who's you don't get the saint title unless you do a miracle. It's kind of like that in this culture. Does that make sense? So you could still be the King's Guard or the Primarch's Guard and still not have oop, unless you have like those long titles like Kingslayer, the Unfallen, da 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 da, like that kind of stuff. And that's kind of what oop does. If someone who has both, and the Primarch has both because Primarch, which means they obviously are both a uniter, a leader, and a defender of the people, and they have done a lot. And if you remember correctly, the Primarch Malakine was the Primarch before the Order of Ascendancy took the zealots of the Order of Ascendancy took over. So there are still holdouts, and you got the feeling that Fort Yeda is one of those still loyal to the previous Primarch type of deal, and which is one of the reasons why you haven't really seen, as far as your knowledge, any of the Order of Ascendancy zealots here. Makes sense. The very, very, very old fort, been a freer for a long, long, long time. So that's that. So keep that in mind. So next, if everybody ever gets introduced or says that, they might say their name, like their name that you shouldn't call them as unless they tell you to, with one of those honorific suffixes. They might introduce themselves as such to let you know, hey, I'm a big deal, or let you know, hey, I deserve some type of respect, to kind of like put the gravity in the air of that type of thing. And that'll give you the ideas like, okay, I should be on my best behavior, or whatever. Matt and Meckel is shaking his head like, absolutely not. You couldn't force me to. Great.
You could.
I'm the keeper.
Noelle and I had like an hour-long conversation about this like today and yesterday,
Yeah.
so we just wanted to make sure that we get that out. So this would be absolutely something that Trisheni would discuss with you while you were traveling through the desert, just to be like, hey guys, don't be fucks. This is how we do business here, and this is how this world works out here in the
And then
mall.
she looked around at us and was like,
It was
a
like,
little
you guys are
fuck.
gonna be fucks anyway.
Oh no. Okay. Well, we'll try
Like it's
again
just
later.
one in one ear and out the other. Yeah.
Meckel was just looking at that stuff down.
Okay, so let's get to the recap then, shall we?
I thought this was the recap.
I haven't lost you
hour.
in
Just-
40 minutes alone.
Right. That was just a part of it. So
Lord,
basically, last we left, 2 episodes ago, you guys woke up on the 7th of Achiel while you were within the mega structure that appeared to be on some sort of planetoid or moon. That was that double tetrahedron thing. In some sort of, I said domicile before, it was more like a chamber, like kind of like the Star Trek quarters in like the Enterprise, that type of thing. And it's a weird bed shaped, you don't realize how you would sleep on it, but and also like biomass carpet. Argus didn't have an arm. The air was very thin here. You do surgery to try to make sure Argus doesn't bleed out and die, and put his arm back on.
thanks, Michelle.
Borrowing some
helped.
knowledge from Macheni through that like twin tie dimension, being able to be in one space with the mind and wibbly wobbly stuff. You are able to successfully attach it, although you still know how the mechanics work and you're keeping track of how long that lasts,
Yeah,
right?
I got 4 more days.
Okay, before you actually get like full use of the arm. You guys
Occasionally
use
I
pieces
poke
from the
your
bag of
adventures to the
holding
feeling.
and some of the bio carpet to be able to do to do this. Log starts drinking alcohol in solidarity with the surgery. Is how I've written. Sips spirits in solidarity with the surgery. That Noelle came up with that line of all that S literation, and she's like, I didn't even mean that. And I was like, it's beautiful.
It's what it is.
And you try to farm some information via augury to try to find out if you should kill Pinky within your mind palace, but you don't really get a clear answer. It's like ask again later, or outlook foggy with your 8-ball. Successful surgery. You go back to your you guys reflect on the day's tragedies of Zemdak perishing, and then putting him in a coffin of Terrazine. Log, during one of your dreamscapes, you are able to enter the mind of an engineer biomechanoid deemed Engineer 601, and are able to take out 3 of the other whatever kind of power loader looking, more militaristic, perhaps big boy mechanoid things that are walking around here. And able to find out the location of where Eleazar's body has been stored in another one of those pods. You see some images, and you also learn that some emergency protocol happened when Cole, or whatever was inside Cole, whatever Cole has become, was up here with Zemdak, and you see some playbacks as to what happened, realizing that the emergency protocol happened when some unauthorized teleportation happened within the core room of the superstructure, and that caused the sirens to go off and a lot of other things to happen. You wake up on the 7th, guessing in the morning-ish. The mood is still kind of melancholy, but Log, with some fleeting knowledge, is able to see that some of the walls say emergency evacuation and arc countdown. Find out that the arc countdown says something like 1 week, 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 days, 7 hours, and 17 minutes and 39 seconds, and you guys are keeping track of that now. Adam did the math, and it shows that on the 22nd of Daikal at around 1:40 p.m. is when the countdown would come to 0. This is Akiel, and the next month is
Daikal.
The next month is Daikal?
Mm-hmm.
The next month is Daikal. So, yeah. Cool. So,
We literally just wrote it down.
Yeah.
good job. Proud of you.
Also 1 month.
Yeah.
Okay. And, right, I just forgot what, right, because we're only on the 7th, right? Okay, that makes sense.
8. Yes.
Yes,
Will be,
yes.
yeah.
But you are able to try to leave a message for the Eleazar, even though he's probably unconscious or something in some sort of stasis, via Tweg. Speaking of which, the AE thing I realize is pronounced like cat or bat or
Well, it depends on the dialect. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
region and all that.
so it's twag. It's twag.
Tweg.
Twag.
How
Or
do
so-
you,
or
how do you
twag.
prefer him to be called, though?
I mean,
Well, as long as it's going to be twig.
I've always preferred the AE
Twag.
as being like a either or like
E.
you could just do whatever the fuck you want. I don't
Yeah.
care. I just like the way
It's all fucking made up anyway.
yeah. I just like the way the A is just such a cool looking symbol. I'm just like, yeah, throw that everywhere. Just put that shit on everything. It's like hot sauce. So you try to make a promise that you're going to be back for Eleazar, and you pop in the escape and you leave. You descend down into the southern section of the Maw, crash land. There is a pod with a biomech that is inside of it that is ejected as the door pops off as well. And you scan the horizon and you notice a spire is like the only landmark off in the distance. Then you realize that could possibly be Fort Yeda, trying to get your bearings. And you grab the pod, you throw it in the folding cube. Log tries to do some augury and ask some questions more, and gets a message from the satellite or whatever it is from the powers that be that's received into the pod that's now sinking and being swallowed by the sands. Trisheni jumps in, retrieves the signal, almost dies trying to get out. After the HUD is fabricated to try to hide it and everything begins sinking, yada yada. You guys survive, retrieve the information, of which, what did that information? I don't have it written down what that information said. Do you?
Basically, just go west.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, it gave you a better idea as to where you were and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Oh, and it said because you asked it, what can we do to try to get Zemdak back, and it did a scan of the continent for powerful things that could possibly be, and it just picked the most powerful, closest thing that it was able to scan. And lo and behold, this probably was Vlad.
Yep.
As you head west, and you spot some marauders and a sandworm. You continue moving to try to prevent them from intercepting with you. You sleep during the day, wake up on the 8th. Log has some conversation with Twig as the Twig is becoming more sentient.
Right. Twig was like wondering what's the difference between life and
He
why
was asking some tough
value it.
questions.
Yeah.
Some life questions that Log is not the best person to answer.
It's like AI trying to learn, like, what's the meaning of life, like trying to pass the Turing test on its own and learning.
And Log is the teacher.
And Log is
Right.
teaching. It's like, well, yes, but also no. I mean, it does fuck, but not that way.
But it's fucked up.
Right. A lot of fucks involved.
Yeah.
You're gonna cause this thing to have a logic trap and just break. So eventually, you are able to get to.
It's like how most of the early chat bots ended up like Nazis
Right.
because
You do the dome.
trolls on the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
You rest in the
It's gonna
dome
get
once more until the
corrupted by
midnight of the
Log's
8th.
logic to be like Log.
Right. So it says you rest in the dome once more until the midnight of the 8th. So you travel in the early morning hours and are able to arrive at Fort Yeda during right
Dawn
before
of the
dawn.
Yeah.
Right before dawn. Some of the guards there say, "Hey, what's going on?" They quiz you. They say, "Hey, who's the Primarch?" You say the Primarch Malakim, and they're like, "Okay, cool, you can come in." And you grease a couple palms. You find your busy marketplace among this, seemingly sizable fort and like fort town. It's all within the bounds of. There's a wall all the way around it, and it's not a large town, but it is a sizable enough to have, like, I would say perhaps like quadrants of like four small village or town blocks within it. So it's like that type of thing. Kind of like how Winterfell is like a town with. I know the town usually lives outside of it, but this one it's all mostly inside. There are some tents outside, but that's one of the things you did notice is there perhaps was evidence of stuff at one time being outside, but stuff has become a little more tense lately, so a lot of stuff has been moved in here. Hence, it being very crowded in here.
So it has 2 temples and like 15 bars. Like a Midwest town.
Depending on the
maybe.
spot.
Churches usually.
If a
outnumber
temple
the
is a
blocks.
tent,
Yeah.
Not in the towns I've been in.
Oh, okay.
You were in the fun towns then.
I was in the fun town.
They're usually about even.
Yeah, they really are.
it's kind of like it's a
And-
bit of the population density of like Tokyo here in this small spot.
And technically, churches do serve alcohol too.
Right.
So
Yeah, blood of my blood, my dude.
They get mad when I ask for seconds, though.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
You just have to take
It's always
all
like
your-
table wine too. They started doing like non-alcoholic stuff. I'm like,
like grape juice. Yeah.
that's when I stopped going. Just kidding. Jesus, we're gonna get canceled real fast.
Yeah.
So, anyway, there is a sneaky little urchin kid that does snag Turcheni's music box.
Don't use snag.
Why not?
Don't say snag and box in the same sentence.
Yeah, please.
He could have used snatch.
What did I?
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's where I thought that
Is
was
there something
going.
I missed?
What's
Is it like is there like a
Snatch,
euphemism there
snag.
that I don't know
Yeah.
about?
Keep
Yeah,
going.
just
Yeah,
go.
just go.
Just
We'll
go.
edit
I'm
it
giving
out.
you
We'll
shit.
explain it to you at the
I'm
break.
Is
Yeah.
it like a recent thing?
This is
No, we'll
this
draw.
is-
Really interesting.
yeah.
Okay,
She's
I'm
already
not aware of
drawing
this.
photos of it, so
Right.
she'll explain.
Oh
later.
my!
It's one of the.
I'm not familiar.
one of the
I just
rings.
was always
Well,
like I just thought it was the word like.
I'll
grab.
show you my hieroglyphs
It
later,
is.
and we'll.
It is grab.
It is.
You just said Bob.
Oh,
By the yeah.
we're talking about a particular orange fellow.
No,
I
he.
understand.
Anyways, all right. Moving on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's dick. But so you eventually are able to retrieve it, ish. But you notice a familiarly clad, armored, very tall individual is seen in one of the vaulted windows of one of the limestone towers within the crenulations of this fort.
Michael did that.
And yeah, you did. And it does send a message to you. At first, Trishani's like, we got to get the fuck out of here. Shade is here. We have to get the hell out of here. Then they send a message to you like, come inside. We have to talk. And you're like, well, fuck. I guess we have
There's
to go
no
inside.
We
option
got called in by
here.
the principal.
Yeah. So you
Big sis wants to talk. All right.
you travel through some like kids that appear to be not fully alive. Maybe some
somebody
other things
kill
going
him?
on.
Yeah, somebody
Threatened
killed
to.
one.
Oh no, yeah,
No,
he did.
You
No,
killed him and then he gave me a gun.
I didn't kill him.
Meckle?
Meckle
Got
killed him.
Meckle
killed
killed
Got
him.
stabbed,
That's right.
but also
No. The guy that was trying to steal something, I killed him.
You
Yeah.
screamed at him.
And then
Or
he
some kid.
died and popped back up.
Yeah,
Right, because because
It
they're
was a child.
undead. It was like an undead vampiric child, so they regenerated a little bit.
But there
They
was
came back.
there was a normal living child that was also part of this. Unfortunately, you chose the undead to do this too.
That is true. Yes.
Yeah, that was
you
my
almost
plan.
killed a
Okay.
kid.
But it turned out to be an undead kid, so it was okay.
I knew
They
something.
Probably
were, they
like
were in the middle of stealing
170 years
someone's
old.
Who
city.
ended up
Yeah.
killing, I would have made undead.
kid was
'cause
already
I don't want
dead.
to kill
You
kids in
didn't.
my campaign. Well, we'll see.
You
But
just
not-
re-killed the
But he got better.
childlike
They're-
self.
they're-
I got better.
Turn me into a newt. Go better. So you go through. You meet some unlikely allies. Shade and Vlad are here. Vlad kind of owes you a favor because you freed him from the secret prison of the Conclave. But there's some tension here as Meckel starts to get on the nerves of Shade, and Shade recognizes him as a failed experiment at some point.
And I recognize her as a sister.
Yeah.
You do start singing that song that makes her even like humming that song that you remember your mother humming to you that really bugs her.
And I
But-
keep doing it.
Determined to save your short king, you ask Vlad to help.
Short king.
You ask Vlad to help, and the seasoned vampire just like rips it open without being affected by the terrazine, and says, "What do you want me to do? Do you like?" So you have the choice of turning him into a thrall or full vampire. And it's like, okay, and you trade in your boon to turn him into a full vampire. Zemdak comes back to undeath, or awakens into undeath with the passing of blood and the drinking of blood and other things. A little bit unaware and aloof of what's going on entirely. Is told by Vlad, "Hey, it's gonna be rough for a little bit, bud." But if I remember correctly, Vlad did hates the taste of dead man's blood. That's like, ugh, that's really, really bad. So when he was doing that to you, he was like, "Oh, I need something to dull this taste," and you gave him some Gutbuster that was inoculated by Onculine spores. So now Vlad is part of
Onculine.
the network. And so, whoops. And you also find out that Vlad is Lady Masha Ehrenbach's brother.
Well, we don't. He called her his sister.
He did call her
but
his sister.
As
Yeah.
we didn't figure out biologically sister or
Right. He just said sister. That's what
Yeah.
you heard. So he becomes part of the Mycelial network. Tells you about your new diet. You continue to antagonize Shade, and Shade just kind of snaps, and begins to pin you up against the wall with her big old scythe blade. And she tries to modify your memory to get rid of that, the knowledge of that song that you keep humming. And you push back with your mind and try to do the whole mind meld thing, at least a little bit that you did with Argus, and it freaks her the fuck out. And she backpedals and seems horrified, like an abject horror. And she just says, "What are you, you monster?" And that's where we pick up. Lots of stuff happened. Woo!
Roll
Took an
for
hour.
initiative.
Here we are.
I'm still hurt.
You're still hurt.
So at the moment, just to give you guys an idea of the setting and what the time of day is, the sun has risen at this moment, meaning that there is a ray of light that is coming through the paneless, shutterless window of this room in this tower. He did pull a body from the roll top desk
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
squeeze it and crunch it.
A
And just
Maitan body.
and
Yeah.
fed it to him.
Yep.
Wring it out like a rag. It was pretty gruesome. So you are fit for the moment, but you're gonna need to eat a lot.
I believe he specified
You need to-
a week or 7
Seven
for the next
days.
7 days, you need to feed on a live person,
Yeah.
not an animal, a live person with tasty blood. every day, at least once a day, and it depends on whether you can keep that hunger. Like today's your first day, you might have to do it a couple times. So we'll see. Like, and if you don't, if you become too thirsty, and the time that you could become thirsty right now has a much higher rate of happening. You become feral, and there's a lot less you have control over, and you just kind of become a instinctual murder thirst machine.
Okay.
I'll take you down.
You do notice that the Zemdek's pallor has become a little bit more pallid, and there's like the jawline's just a tad bit more pronounced. The cheekbones are a tad bit more pronounced. He's just a tad more gaunt. His eyes are a little bit more incandescent or iridescent, kind of giving that like, wow, you have really beautiful eyes type feel. If I remember correctly, looking at this picture, I wasn't actually talking to you, Ken. Sorry. Although your eyes, I could get lost in your eyes.
Feisty and short.
You have blue eyes or green eyes, right?
Yeah, green.
Yeah. So you already had some like pretty striking eyes. Now it's just like it's one of those you could get lost in your eyes type of thing, and that's just that inherent kind of undead vampiric charm of like, come over here and we'll have a good time.
So we're gonna have the charisma rolls now.
Nope.
But he's still going to talk to me.
Did he get
My charisma was not directly affected.
We shall
We know.
see.
Something mechanically might work out in my favor, but I don't know yet.
We shall see. We shall see what's
My
going on.
rolls? No.
I also
Perfect.
I'm going to
If
keep
I-
opening my mouth and you guys...
If I gave you some charisma points, though, I feel like then that would just further encourage you to keep opening your mouth, and you wouldn't have those issues where you're like, I need to stop talking because you roll charisma and you fail, and those are great, and you've only slightly started learning from them, so I'm like, we should keep that because this is too good. Because I know Adam's like, I want to say stuff, I want to play, and I'm like, yes, I do too. It's really great. It's awesome.
Now
But
we
yeah.
lost our bars, so it just leaves me.
Yeah, you are the most.
Yeah, Meckel,
We lost a bard and gained a bard.
the one with like,
He's just not socially
he's
intelligent.
autistic. I mean, like, come on, like
Right.
he can't read social situations. Like, so I
He's
mean,
learning,
He
all
may,
right?
I am
also,
learning.
He just got an ASI and didn't put anything into charisma. He only has a 14 charisma as a bard, and he chose not to put anything into charisma.
I put
If
it
that
in
means
wisdom.
something to you guys.
and I put it in strength because I have to carry Cole's bag around. So I'm
have a clo-
lifting.
Cole had like a 9 strength. You could lift his bag.
I love how true to role play Matthew is being with his character. Goes like, oh, my character is not. I might be a bard, but I'm not that. I'm decently charismatic, but not that charismatic. And I need to do this thing right now. He's fully diving
But
right into.
I have a nice performance.
Yeah.
Just don't have me talk before or after the performance.
Oh, it's like one of those like really good musicians or like
Right.
artists.
You just never
people
wanna hear
that
them be
just,
the
like,
front man.
Just don't meet
Yeah.
your hero type of thing, and don't talk to them because they'll be just like, "What do you need? What? Yeah, I like pop rocks. Do you like pop rocks? Do you ever have
Okay,
pop
I'm
rocks
not
and soda?"
dumb.
I didn't
I
say
just-
it's not dumb. It's just they don't like they get so nervous they don't know what to say or they can't read other situations.
Yeah,
and
I
he's,
think
like,
it's
weird.
more like I have a beautiful singing voice, but my talking voice is absolutely awful. You know?
It's like there's social intelligence, right?
Right.
There's the knowledge of how to interact with other humans, and you don't quite have that.
You have it more
like-
than some.
Not humans, other sentient.
Bro, I'm
I'm used to dealing with the other beings. It's
And
the
he
grew
got
up
my
like that.
memories, and I was like, I hate myself a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Like the whole
It's
brain
really
difference
helpful.
of like empathy being difficult because all of your being able to relate to somebody is entirely anecdotal, personally anecdotal, and it's like hard to be like, oh yeah, I know exactly how you feel. You'll be like, when was the last time I felt like that? And then you try to relate by saying that anecdote in order to be like, oh yeah, okay, then we can relate. But like allistic people and neurotypical people are like. Think of it as rude because they think you're trying to
what we're talking
put the story back on them,
No, no,
but it's
no.
not. It's just the only way you can relate. It's
I haven't retold you one of your stories yet. So Argus isn't even paying attention. It's like the
I'm
real
so
world.
intrigued.
I'm
now.
watching Adam's ADHD trying not to interrupt.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
He's stimming. Let him stim. I do the
No,
same thing.
there's a thought. There's a thought.
when I come up with when I feel like I come up with like epiphanies, I do like the
Just wave
shit
around
all
your
the time.
cape
Noelle
and
sees
we'll-
me fucking throwing shit around the house, pillows, but like about like
Shade
children.
too,
Yeah.
but you know.
We have a body in our possession
Uh-huh.
that, to a certain extent, can't die.
But
I think we threw that idea out there last
It's
time.
technically already dead.
Yeah, I think we talked
I
about
already
that.
thought about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
I
is-
feel like
I
we, I
also
feel like
thought
we
about how
discussed
you
it.
could
a
now
little
It
bit.
is
make
dead.
terracing
It just
bullets
has the
just
effect of
fine.
gentle repose upon it.
That's
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like a Capri Sun.
That's
of
what I
could
was
be.
like. An endless Capri Sun.
Yeah.
for-
I already considered this.
It is just
but that's,
preserved.
That's basically
Yeah.
the state you were in, and he said your blood tasted gross.
It's
Yeah.
preserved in a moment
In between
of
death.
recent death, so it's like has gentle repose on it permanently. If
Then that can
if
at
the
least now
gnat
make
stays on it.
terrazine bullets.
No problem.
You
Fun,
I can touch it.
because you can fabricate shit now without touching it.
And
Well,
yeah,
he
and
can
he
touch it. He can touch it.
The blue stuff. The blue stuff.
How did you not see that happening?
Teamwork.
Matthew, I have 489 pages of just the story, not including all of my ancillary.
And it's not in
We
there?
always break.
My brain is leaking out of my eyes. Okay, it's leaking out of all of my orifices. Okay.
That
we
explains
come
a
to
lot.
break his.
That's new information.
Hey guys, don't let me kill any of you, please.
I'll bring him back.
Wait, what?
No.
Just start with Michael.
I don't know.
Start
if
what with
with
Michael?
how he reacts to people attacking him, I think he's the least.
Is anybody not at full health?
I'm not.
I don't mean you. You're not at full health.
I'm good.
I need you to roll wisdom saving throw for me while you're talking about this.
Because we had a long rest and all that jazz. So.
Just count as a
Yeah,
magical
but I got
effect?
hurt doing something. I
No,
don't
this
remember what.
this is relating to your physiology.
I think I got
Well, your
hurt
magical
while I was
physiology,
saving
but
you,
no,
or
it's
you were
not
trying to
a
do
spell
something
or-
Yeah,
stupid or
I
something.
just
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something.
Vampire
I
stuff.
got hurt.
it's only an 8.
At 8. You smell wounds, damage, like a wounded animal. And your eyes just, it's like a magnet, of super powerful magnet pulling your gaze over to Argus, even though you are talking to everybody. And you have that whole kind of look in
Pupil
your...
fully dilates.
Yeah, like your periphery starts to close in, and you get tunnel vision with him,
Guys,
and
I'm
you just start to
getting
breathe heavy,
hungry.
and the whole like, you're aching, yup, 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 for some bacon, yup, yup, yup,
Yeah.
type of feel starts to kick in,
So
and you
I
start to
look
trail
at
off.
I look at well, I was talking to him as he trails off,
Guys.
and I'm thinking, and then I look where his gaze is going
I'll be
at
fine.
Argus, and I was just like, and then I put my arm right out in front of Zemdek.
Okay. I don't think Zemdek is fully self-conscious of this. You're quickly falling down the chasm of full unconscious instinct here, like deep, because you returned minutes ago, if that.
Yep.
My hand goes to my hammer.
I want you to roll an insight check to see if you noticed this.
I mean, he did say, "Guys, I'm hungry."
I don't think you like.
I don't
if
have
you
the-
don't mind me
Sure.
saying so, I don't think you.
I don't have the
did.
agency to do
Yeah, I don't
anything.
think
You
you
just
in this
look
moment, you're like,
hungry.
wow.
Okay.
Like I would love for you to do that on the other time, but like right now, right after you turned, everything is food.
I
I got
will
12.
A 12. He's looking at you,
I
But you
will
did just
actually
eat, right?
when
Yeah,
I
he
when I
did,
have my
but-
does he react to
freshly
my,
killed, but
does he react to my arm at all?
you just push your arm out there. Are you
Yeah.
wounded?
It's 9.
No. No. Okay.
pretty
I'm
locked on Argus
I,
right
I
now.
will say I do this for you, and then I'll cut my arm with my hand axe.
You see Zemdek's eyes flare open, his nostrils flare. You see him like shake.
We don't have time for this. Turn
Like
like
His-
magnet to
his
steel. Like
Bones begin to crack.
That's
latch
Do you
on.
leap?
that's our host, dude.
So you begin
I
to
cast
leap.
Turn Undead.
Got it. So you begin to latch and leap, and like your fangs become. You see his jaw, very mummy style, get like as a lot bigger than you thought. A bunch of creases appear on his head of this monstrous kind of feral. You've never seen Zemdek look like this before. He looks more beast monster and just.
I just stand
anything
there
else.
and kind of lean in a little.
Sure, you do so. He reaches you. You just kind of like smack your hammer and cast Turn Undead.
It's a wisdom.
That's what I was
Isn't-
double-checking.
Are we alone in here? Or is Vlad in here?
No,
too?
Vlad's in-
Vlad's in here
They're still
too.
in here.
And all his little
And Shade.
people. Then
No,
you
no,
get-
no. They're downstairs. But how?
but Shade's
they're also
still
behind
here,
full
right?
full cover.
What?
Shade is
Shade
not
is still-
undead.
Right.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm
Shade
just saying
is, but
she's here.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah.
Shade, Vlad, and y'all are here. That's it. That's the only people in this room.
How often I use it.
Vlad sees what's going on. I think with that low insight, I think that you see that Vlad sees what's going on. He's like, and then because Vlad is so old and wise and instinctual and
wisdom.
knows what the fuck happens and probably dealt with turn undead many times, sees you do the thing, knows what you can do, and he's like, oh fuck. As soon as you start to do the thing, he does start to like get up from the chair and like blur super speed kind of vampire movement, but you still pop it off. What'd you get?
17.
That's the AC.
The DC?
Yeah.
So I just succeeded.
You just
essentially.
succeed.
All right, so you latch onto me.
Vlad got a natural 20, which makes complete
Total
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
There is like a moment where he's not on the ground anymore. He's like hitched to the door frame as he's about to like crawl into one of the. There are openings on the top because of how deserts this stuff is and how it needs ventilation to keep things warm or cool or whatever. There are the top part of where the wall would meet the ceiling has kind of half circle openings of
Yeah.
like upside down arcs in order to allow air to move through rooms and
Can
stuff.
the other ones hear me?
So he was like almost crunching his body and about to be like moved through the hole to get out before it like the wave hits him and he's like
But
shivers,
if I save, does that stop me?
just uncomfortable.
Does that
It means
stop
you
me from my lunch?
No.
You passed, so no.
Right.
it
So I
doesn't.
latch on to
You
him.
latch onto him.
It's any creature that can hear me as well.
That's not behind total cover.
It doesn't say that.
Not behind full
It's-
cover.
It's just a C or here.
Really
C or CN.
C or here.
interesting. Within a certain radius,
30
correct?
feet.
Oh, I mean,
Depends on.
right. Your divine sense is the divine sense is the thing. If you don't sense it, if it's behind total cover.
Yep.
If I
So
remember.
now we'll find out what my blood does to you.
Oh shit, Meckel, you need to do the thing too.
Oh fuck.
Because you're
Am
about
I
to take damage.
still deafened? Because I was deafened when I died.
I mean, that would have been too long ago.
I got a nat 20, so I'm really
You're
not
fine.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm doing this intentionally. I'm
You're
literally
stable.
sacrificing
You're stable.
my myself to make sure you don't get eaten. Now that doesn't do anything with my.
No.
You're like, oh, he tastes like feet.
Yeah. So you're using one of your channel divinities to do that.
Check it out. Sure.
Each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet. Well, nobody except for anybody who's in this room can see you. Can hear you.
They're undead monsters.
Downstairs.
There are some of the kids downstairs, but
Within 30 feet. Because it would have to like travel
Not to mention we did.
through doorways, down the stairs. Like,
Well, I mean, if it radiates through stone,
it's possible. If I'm thinking like it's very possible. So, and you're level 9 now.
well,
You're about
well,
to
no,
be.
yeah.
You're about to be.
Right,
So,
yeah.
I just want to know what the
So my DC
destroy
is
undead
16.
stuff is there.
Oh.
You have destroy of CR1,
yeah.
so you could very well just
Kill a bunch
kill
of
Much-
undead kids.
a bunch of
kill,
kids.
not sort of kill like I did.
No, like forever gone.
Right,
kids.
right.
Yeah.
I
I mean, undead
I wasn't planning
creatures
on that.
in the body of kids.
Yes. So
could you have thrown your voice towards just Zemdek and Vlad?
I was just trying to get Zemdak, but that
Yeah.
doesn't stop my voice. From
Yeah, I
going
mean,
where
if
a voice
it's-
did
goes.
you want to like smack your hammer or commit or say something, or did you want to just like do the whole like?
I said we don't have time for this right now. When I did it,
And you,
Yeah.
you did your holy symbol, like your hammer. What did you do with it in order to make? You just
I
put your
grabbed
hand on it.
and-
You just
yeah,
grab it.
and
Okay.
guide it. Yeah.
But you're not yelling it.
I mean, I'm yelling just the basic.
Okay. So here's the deal.
Because you have to, isn't it a vocal?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to mess with the mechanics. Like,
I know that there is a thing with vampires where if they are knocked out, they turn into mist. If they die, they're also turn into mist because they can't like die.
If they hit 0, they
However, dying
from a,
via a turn undead.
Oh yeah, that's just
That just is.
I think they're
Dead.
just.
Yeah.
I think it actually says too if it does like the whole Undead fortitude
Well,
stuff doesn't work. Well, it says it in the building.
How tall was this tower that we climbed up to? Because that's another thing to consider.
Yeah, we did climb up a spiral staircase.
Yeah,
so-
because if it was far up a couple stories, then they may be fine.
That
I don't-
does destroy undead say anything specific?
It just says the creature is instantly destroyed. It
So
doesn't
then,
say the
yeah.
creature instantly dies. It say the creature is instantly destroyed.
Yeah.
So you will just annihilate
Yes.
the existence of these kids.
Anything's
As I roll their
CR
wisdom
1
saving
or
throws.
less.
I didn't mean to do that.
Well, you know.
You
I mean-
but that's things.
Well, maybe they save.
What's your
16 because we haven't leveled yet.
It depends on what CR you're throwing.
CR1?
Are
They're
you sure?
kids.
Yeah.
CR1, that's what he is. He's 8th level. CR1 is destroyed.
Okay.
Not that we
These guys
know
aren't that strong. Like they're kids.
I understand that.
They got overpowered by Meckel. And knocked out. They got knocked out with one issuance of damage.
It was a pretty good issuance, I'd like to say.
Okay. You do hear some like screams from downstairs.
But nothing from Meckel. He's just fascinated with this thing clamped onto his.
You see Vlad. There's like a moment. You're feeding.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. Do your bite thing. So here's the deal. Your bite is a D4. Your bite is a D4. However, when you are feral, like you are right now, all damage is doubled. As for when it comes to like something that has to do with your physical and vampiric, that type of thing.
Okay.
And I'll write out mechanics a little bit more like that, but start taking notes so I don't forget. So 2d4.
5.
You take 5 points of damage. You already did your con save for your transformations, so you're good. You don't remain there. You are a true vampire, or like you are a full vampire. You're not a true blood. Oh God, don't get me started with the fucking show.
Do I
Meaning like
sparkle
you're
now?
not like
Wrong show.
like an elder. Like you're still
A full vampire, but not like
you're still at the behest of
elder-
Vlad.
Yeah.
He's still your master, type of thing. He would have to release you when he wants to, type of thing. Meaning that you still have the ability, unlike thralls, you have the ability to transfer your curse or your status of being a vampire to another.
Well, that I didn't know.
Normally, it requires a certain process and requires you to activate consciously a type of gland within your fangs to be inserted into the bite. In your current feral state, you don't have conscious control over something like that.
Okay.
So I will need you to roll I want you to roll a Constitution saving throw to see if that is something that you, after just being born, are capable of doing.
Of controlling.
Yeah, controlling / doing, just to see if it's possible. It's kind of like a luck. 19? Okay. I think that you have that involuntary peristalsis of trying to stimulate the gland, but not enough actual venom has been produced, or venom or whatever it might be, somewhere where the material has been produced. So there is a tiny, tiny bit that goes in because it starts producing as soon as you come
It
alive.
hasn't been enough time though since
It's nowhere near full
turned.
dosed. So you will still have to take a Constitution saving throw, but you do it at advantage for this, and the DC is not very high.
Con save?
Yeah,
13?
13. That's enough. You're able to resist whatever small drop was put into your blood.
Does anything go the other way? I'm an aberration, so.
The I don't think that's something that either of you would be aware of in this moment, if that makes sense. So what I will do is I'll have you just please both of you roll luck checks, and then we'll be done with this because I don't want to do this anymore.
6.
6.
3.
3. Okay.
And notes.
And so after that, does he sort of like bite, take a gulp, and then like release? Or am I just
Nope.
sitting there?
Nope. He's holding on. Every 6 seconds, you're taking double bite. He is gorging himself upon you.
Oh. Well, I mean, that's.
Go ahead and do it again. Two more D4.
Does anything happen for that luck check?
I can't tell you.
5 more.
Nothing that you would be aware of at the moment.
Okay.
5 more. Another con save for you. You guys can do stuff now. if you
I'm
want.
not. Am I generating more venom quickly enough to keep envenoming him?
No, I'm not. I don't want to keep. I may change it later, but for the moment, I only want the whole injecting venom, possibly transforming somebody else. Because unless you're feral, you have control over whether you want
Sure.
to inject it to turn somebody. But when you are feral, I think I just want to keep it to just the initial latch, the initial bite,
Right.
to have it.
So then he doesn't really need to make another con save.
This is for his transformations.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. It was a con save for both, so I got confused.
I got a 4. So
Okay.
I do transform.
Okay.
So let me know what the potential of what happens before we say exactly what happens. What form would you take?
I think that's a roll, isn't it? I don't have any.
I think it's depending on what you roll on that con save. It's either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Correct?
I have to.
If I remember correctly.
3.
Look at that up. You're at the moment with feral. When you bite and you do double damage, every
Oh,
point of damage
that-
you do, you heal. So if you're damaged, you're healing. So you're healing by that 6 and then that 5 or whatever it was.
2 5s, but yeah.
Sure. You guys can do stuff. I just want to say what Vlad was doing in this moment after those kind of screams. Like that whole like Aldron, like I heard a bunch of voices scream out and then was silenced in a moment type
Alright.
of feel. You see Vlad's face go as he slowly, carefully brings himself down from the ceiling and like bones pop down into place. He has not a stern, but an unfeeling, stoic. It's not something you've seen Vlad have. He's always very expressive. He has a very unfeeling, stoic, blank, and it's kind of scary how just like stone face he is at the moment.
I didn't mean to do any damage to them. I was just trying to get him away from us.
He slowly turns his head and looks. I'll get to you in a moment.
Okay.
He slowly turns his head and he looks at your hammer without making eye contact with you. You are out of boons with me? But you are a friend of my child? Don't make me speak on this again. We are at the moment allies of convenience. And this is happening slowly. You also feel you're kind of like locked into this conversation. He is using a lot of his whatever vampire charm or whatever thing to keep you like, I'm talking to you right now. This is the only thing that matters. You feel this massive feeling of predator prey. If you take your eyes off of him, you're very scared of what could possibly happen. Even though you have the whole divinity, I'm a god type of thing, this is extremely powerful individual, and you just feel the pressure of they have stopped playing games for this moment as you have killed some of their children, and Vlad is extremely pissed, but he's also very old and knows how to contain it and knows when it is necessary. You passive insight getting the feeling you fucked up. You fucked up real bad, and that was your one. Next time he'll just kill you
I'm going to
and
grab
everybody in this room.
I'm going to grab Zendak by the shoulder and bestow curse.
Cool.
I
What do you do?
Save.
Which one?
form
Wisdom.
3.
Form 3. Okay, so here's what happens because all this is happening very, very, very quickly. There's like this bullet time kind of conversation that's happening with you because you're in this trance with him. Yikes. So
Do we need to clear this off?
Hope. Well, we'll see.
So he failed his save. So the option I'm choosing is while cursed, the target must make a wisdom saving throw at the start of each of its turns. If it fails, it wastes its action and does nothing. So I'm like basically
You just
incapacitating
stunned
him.
me, essentially.
Yeah.
Got it. You're trying to put him into an action. You got it. So he did his thing. You're going to do your thing. So on the third try of you trying to slurp him up. So this is what happens during that time. You continue to...
As soon as he hits me, I
Yes, I'm
Right.
just all this stuff is happening at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to flavor expressing you like what you see is what's happening. You're because it's like you don't stop. You still like attempt to drink, and you see Meko like, and you see parts like bones start to crack and muscle starts to swell. You see his arms. Is this form 2? You said.
3.
3.
So I become huge.
Oh,
Yeah.
the screaming thing.
Well, there's 3 and 4. You didn't write down a description of which one physically they look like.
I thought I did. Because I have the miniatures for each one. I just want to make sure. Yeah, this is the one where it like comes out of the chest and it's the big. Yeah, that one. Because the 4 is the one where the one that happened with them. That was just the blob
Okay.
and the
The
rib cage
Right.
and the heart inside and the lungs inside, and the 3 is the one that's more has like the legs and the mouth and the chest where the thing comes out, and it's like a big old nodal didgeridoo mouth thing. So you start to swell into that like size. It's happening gradually as you see here's the bones cracking. Your jaw almost gets unhinged because the arm that you're trying to bite on gets so wide, but you're still sucking from him.
do. I have a save to regain control.
Not until you're full.
Okay.
Once you become feral,
Okay.
unless somebody can like knock you out or you become full,
I just was
you're
curious.
feral.
Yep.
Like you gotta feed. That's one of the big downsides to being this. Is like you gotta feed. Which is why you got to lean on your friends to like be like, no, hold me back. So you do the curse, he fails, so you don't do any damage or anything. This is just what happens.
And once he's incapacitated, I'm just going to try and pry him off.
Right, you have to roll to see if you become incapacitated, right?
I
Or,
failed. Yeah,
or
you
that's
failed it.
just the curse that you.
No, I failed. I
you
did
just
roll.
picked that curse
But then
as
don't
the
you
curse
have
you
to
rolled.
roll your
I
wisdom save?
understand. Okay.
He
did.
He did, and he failed.
So he is
Yes.
fully. So he's stuck on like lockjaw, like, and the only thing that's moving his jaw is you swelling inside of him, which is hurts as fuck because he's very
Oh,
strong.
I'm not aware now.
Yeah. I'm just like,
yeah.
you see like the pain as it's like wrapping a metal brace around a creature that would grow into it, and it would just cut into the bone, into the flesh. It's kind of what's happening with you now with his jaws around you.
Do I notice any of this because of my law conversation or not?
will in a second.
At this moment, like there was kind of this bullet time conversation he was having with you. Still not very happy with you, but also realizes that other shit is going down. Does release you to be aware of your surroundings. But Vlad is not taking his eyes off you and not really doing anything to ameliorate the other things that are happening right now.
I'm going to put baby in the corner.
Okay.
luck.
You
Banishment.
Oh,
He's attached to me, right?
That doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't.
And I'm trying
It's
to
a
pry him
single
off
creature.
anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I didn't have prepared
And
today.
Log like grabs him and like tries to do the whole like the dog
Drop
and
it,
her locks
drop it.
onto each other like drop it. Cool. Banishment. You would be doing. You're only partially way
that's him.
through your transformation. I think you would be adding. It's a charisma saving throw if I remember.
Yep.
I believe you would be only the form is what I will say.
Yeah.
Because I think that's your lower one, and mid transformation, whichever has the weakest resistance for a saving throw is the one that's going to happen because you're in a vulnerable state.
Okay.
Whichever one is smaller.
That's a 13.
That's a fail.
That's a fail. So you see, as Meckel starts to Cronenberg out, you
And last
pull your
minute,
gaze. You pull your. Well, you don't even have to pull your gaze because you don't see him.
Nope.
Because of eyes of the faithless. So you just like snap your fingers as you try to take care of a problem, and Meckel just disappears. And Zemdek is there like, and just like wooden, whole body asleep, wooden on the floor.
Yeah, so I was holding him, and once it's gone, then I'll just set him down, back away.
Do we need to like put him somewhere else?
Is he stunned
too?
every round, or he gets to save every round?
So he gets a chance to save every round. So it's concentration for a minute, but he gets a chance to save.
Okay, cool. Let's just do your save, and then we'll start pulling stuff in.
Wisdom, right?
Yep.
19.
That'll save.
Okay, you see Zemdek come out of it, like shake and pull up. Still fangs quite long, not quite saber tooth, but longer than if he was probably fully fed because he's gone feral. You see his shoulder blades have kind of started to like pop up and crack to maybe begin to become compound fractures into his flesh as you see some of his shoulder blades begin to split into different pieces as though it's beginning to form some type of prehensile wing or something. It's very lopsided at the moment. It's not great. And you see Vlad walk over as you begin to lunge at as
He'd be
Argus
the next
because he's
closest,
wounded,
yeah.
and he's the only other one that's wounded there. Shade hasn't moved, by the way. Still, like, catching her breath, collapsed in the corner, holding on to the wall of the corner. Vlad steps in at this moment, just kind of very Vampire Hollywood style. Does the whole thing where he puts his hand on your forehead and you're too small, so you're like, and you can't move. And he just says, take a nap, and taps his middle finger, or not his middle finger, but his index finger on you, and you just fall. Well, now that you see what happens when you don't take care of your friend, and your friend isn't fed, I hope you understand the severity of the situation.
Right. Can he be fed
What
like...
happened to...
I sent him to put baby in the corner.
It'll last a little bit.
Needed a timeout.
Yeah.
Until he comes and like we can take care of our friends when they go into places.
You see him like ponder what he just witnessed, and then look at Shade, and Shade makes eye contact with them, and she kind of like slowly nods. And he's like, "So she had a point. He is a monster."
Not any more than anyone else.
You know, it always fascinates me how clergymen always like to twist the truth into whatever it is they want. Spin doctors.
You think that's just clergy? That's funny.
Oh no, I just
Politicians, for sure.
you're catching on. I like it.
Believe me, I'm not the fan of the clergy.
Regardless, I apologize for my lack of decorum. But I meant what I said. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay,
And I apologize for what I did.
You cannot apologize to the annihilated.
That's all I can do. That's all I have.
They had names.
I'm sure they do.
What were their
And what were
names? So we can...
Faustin. Gorten. Vila. And Vortana.
And, I'm sorry.
Vortana.
Vortana.
As I had mentioned before, they were sick, starving, and dying. And I offered them salvation, and they took it. I am not a manipulator. I have made it very clear as to what it is I was doing, and I gave them every opportunity to say no. I tried to convince them to not take it. But I also have learned of how much time I have spent on this world, that it is better to treat children with the respect of an adult and listen to them rather than assume they are irresponsible and incapable of their own critical thinking and thought. So, what you did was make me break a promise. And not just one, but 4. I am not your friend. I am not your ally. We perhaps have a common enemy. But any grace that we once had has been expended. That doesn't mean I'm not willing to work with you. But you need to know. Should you move a single grain of salt in my line, you will also become my enemy. And you have seen what I can do. Honestly, I would prefer we wouldn't be enemies. I would prefer we be friends, companions, allies.
I would love to work towards that.
You have dug yourself a hole.
I agree. And I'm all for trying to get out of it.
I am nothing if not a man of my word, and a being that would prefer to offer forgiveness than forgetfulness. If you had met me 900 years ago, I don't believe any of you would still be standing. Unless I was no longer standing. This is not meant as a threat, it's meant as a promise. I don't want there to be bad blood between us. But do you have children?
I'm only 40.
Do you have sisters, siblings, brothers?
Yes.
Imagine how you would feel if they were taken away from you by someone that you trusted.
I've already had that imagination. And I started torturing a man for it.
Then I don't need to say anymore.
Why do you think I want to make amends and apologize for what I've done and find a way to help?
Very well. It is also important to understand that it is not, again, not me you need to apologize to, but those that are now gone. I am upset that you made me break my promise, but I am not the victim here. They are. You must make amends to them, not me. I am furious, but my fury is kept deep for good reason. I have no other better way of saying this other than I want to love you. Do you want to love me?
Yes.
Then let's start building. Anyway, sorry to put your friend asleep for obvious reasons.
It's okay. He was asleep a little.
Now that you've seen what happens, he needs to feed several times today on live, fresh people, not animals.
Can it be like in vials or anything, or does it have to be from the being?
You can try, but this fresh and this much of in this infantile state, they are going to, your short king friend is going to have more of a sensitivity to how long the blood has been outside of the body. Mere seconds, the blood starts to oxidize and many other things, and that sours it. Over the years, you get an acquired taste to those types of things, and you become more resistant and tolerant to it. But right now, he's more up to distinctively vomit any blood that doesn't come straight from the source. It takes time, self-control, restraint, and support to be able to find alternate methods of satiating the thirst.
Are all the little urchins running around yours, or some of them, like, still human?
Some of them are still alive, yes.
But they're not all like yours. Like
It was about half and half, not so much anymore. Some of them had friends, other types of street family. They didn't want to be separated, so I took them in too. In the process of teaching them how to survive.
Okay.
Your friend, now we're going to talk about what you're in a harmless demi-plane as you've been banished away. It lasts for how long?
A minute.
A minute. So you're gone, and then you come back as reforming Mekl. Nobody knows what happens with there. You don't know what happened with there. You just were there, and then you came back. As you just appear, like very how your mini is style there, like trying to push one of the plates of your skull back into place and pop your shoulder back in.
And then I look at my arm. Is it still?
Do you regenerate in that form?
I don't think so. No, it doesn't look like it.
Okay. You're still wounded, but you're not like actively bleeding. You still have the perforations, but you're not actively bleeding. But the blood is still to the air, but they're asleep. Yeah, that's the other thing.
What
Shade
happened?
is afraid of you. Why? Other than what I saw, why?
I look over at Shade. Is she still like?
She stood up and she's composed herself somewhat. But
When
she
I
doesn't
look
have,
at her.
she doesn't have. She wears a blindfold. She's blind.
Oh, okay.
So she doesn't have like gaze.
You feel her
Apparently
gaze.
She underestimated me.
Shut up. Like, Y instead of Z. Funny, yes. Because her and Tiffany. Good.
She underestimated me. Mekl says.
Oh, that is apparent.
It's not as funny when you explain it.
Oh, she said you were a failed experiment. So you wouldn't happen to have had some dealings with a doctor, would you have?
Doctor? Does everybody know this guy?
I mean, that's
Yes.
all.
No, very few. Well, he has many aliases. They, it, who knows, has many aliases, but he is one of the. It changes so often. I am not sure. Constantly changing their form. They are adding bits, taking parts away.
Yeah, that sounds like Doctor. As I'm like playing with the teeth
Yep.
marks.
They are a member, as far as I can tell, of they are a member of the Enduring Conclave, as well as my sister, and I was once as well, but no longer. Where did you come from around here?
I don't know.
He's not that far out of the bus.
Yeah. Not the
From
west.
within the mall.
Yep.
That's where we met him, at least. We don't know where he came from before, but
That's where he came from.
yeah.
Does he know that you're here?
He knows that he exists and that we were with him, but not close to where we did not teleport to this location.
No,
If you remember.
but he did see me, and he did have the sense of,
It doesn't mean he couldn't scry on us.
yeah. got real nasty with
Did
the.
he ever do work on you?
Yes.
Then he most likely has a piece of you. So no matter where you run, he might be able to find you. There's nothing. I have no.
I'm not really running.
Well,
What are you?
His business is not my business. If you're happy with having him as part of your life, then so be it. They do their own thing. However, some of the things even I find rather gruesome.
Wish we had another amulet.
They have their own agenda within
Yeah.
the conclave, not entirely. They use people often. But I digress.
It's okay. I mean, Argus is here to protect me, so.
Very well. All right, so Shade is able to kind of sense when people are looking at her in a type of way, just because she's Shade, and Vlad did again like throws a glance at her, and she kind of acknowledges, and it's there. Well, now that we have all composed ourselves. Your group seems to have quite a bit of problems.
You don't say.
Yeah.
As I had mentioned before, perhaps we can help each other.
Indeed.
I can solve 2 of your problems, perhaps more. But I need you to solve one of mine.
It's like, which problems of yours can we solve?
Yeah.
This is that trade thing again?
That's one of them, yes.
Trading's good.
In your current state, as you are now, you will not be capable of helping me. You are not adequate. You will need to learn, train, rest, recuperate. Not have a ticking time bomb with you, perhaps? A young infant that decides to bite everything and put everything in their mouth?
I do have a ball gag.
That's
I mean,
true.
that could
Is
work
it
for a
made
bit.
of adamantine?
We could make one something.
I could definitely plate it with adamantine.
You and I could work together. We can do that. Yeah.
I mean, that will break his jaw and his teeth, but
But they come back, right? Because
The hell are we talking about?
I saw his shoulder blades go back down, right?
sorry, I was lost in thought there for a moment.
Okay. Oh,
We're talking
okay.
about an adamantine ball gag.
It reminds me of college.
Fun times?
Anyway, that could work, but you're going to find greater returns of helping him if he is able to control his thirst and learn how to do so. Right now, he is, for all intents and purposes, starving. At least that's how he feels.
You want me to try again?
No. No.
We need to figure out a better plan than just cut yourself and let him eat.
And
He will drink
especially
you dry if he is
Yeah.
wild.
yeah, I think.
Street urchins. That's kind of what I was thinking.
But I don't feel good about that
I don't
doing.
wanna touch the street urchins.
No, it's his children.
That's why I asked
And
which ones
friends.
were and which ones aren't.
They're still children, right? I mean, regardless, it's not.
They're still bigger people with more blood.
And also, like, there
That's
are some pretty big jerks here too. You know, like the guys that we had to fucking
Wait,
palm
can't
money
you,
to.
can't you do that trade thing?
How much blood does he need in a day?
He is little. At least.
Short king.
A new honorific, a title I shall give him. My child, Zemdak Boots, Short King.
Got another
Short
fucking
King
name
of
for him.
Flint Sweeper, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was able to.
Let's get some information.
His family raised him right. Very lovely family.
From the ones we've met, I agree.
Me as well. So he will eat and eat and eat until he gorges himself like a glutton and until he can no longer move and he passes out. He's not actually hungry, he is hungry. He feels starving constantly, but he's not actually hungry, if that means something.
Okay.
Yeah, Adam?
The roll to maintain self-control, that was a wisdom check, correct?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like being
Wanna
It's
make
like
sure
constantly
that you
being
can
crowned
flash
of
your
madness and just being attack.
Wisdom save for feral, like feral nature.
For
control.
self-agency.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure I had that.
Yeah,
written down correctly.
to not go feral, and like the longer you go without food, you have to like kind of build up to the point where your body has healed enough in its current state to be able to act with decorum.
Yep.
And then it starts to then go down longer you have without blood to the point where you could
No,
possibly
sorry, it was a
go.
mechanical question.
Yeah, you got it.
So speaking of decorum, while they're having this conversation and I'm sort of being ignored a little bit, I am gonna start shuffling a little bit closer to Shade.
Little brother.
What's your
being
passive
annoying.
perception?
16.
16. You witness as you're shuffling closer to the shade that the large, long-handled scythe is slowly raising until like the hilt of it just touches your sternum, and she's just keeping you away from her by holding you with the thing. She's just like I wouldn't touch him with a 39.5-foot pole type of feel. It's just like, no, you stay right there.
I will whisper to her, "Are you okay?"
I'm fine. Really, I'm fine.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure.
I got a 7.
7. Seems fine.
Great social cues.
I will walk back over to Arcus, not walking, of
Yeah.
course, away
She
from the
does
blade
have
first.
just kind of like a resting.
Bitch face.
I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say more of just a resting,
Solemn face.
not frown, but just
Blankness.
like the opposite of the Mona Lisa thing. Whereas like she has like that
Upside
slight
down
smile.
smirk.
Hers is a slight, a resting scowl, kind of, just slightly. She doesn't look. I would say at the most you get of her, she doesn't look fully comfortable, but you think she's fine. Said she's fine. Yeah.
Go back over to Arcus and their
Also,
boring
like-
conversation.
8.5 foot tall, so she's. You don't want to mess with muscle mommy, so great. So it is your job to take care of him. I owe you nothing.
But
No,
how much?
but-
We just like some information on how much blood he needs.
He just keeps eating, right?
Ah, yes, he will keep drinking until he cannot move.
So we have to kind of.
But do you
Try
have
to-
any gauge on
It
how
makes
much
it
that
easier.
is?
It becomes more woozy and nauseous the more he engages if it's too much. It will be
Okay.
easier to subdue him. It is your responsibility to take care of my child now.
Yeah.
He needs at least, I would say, maybe 2 more full average weight bodies today of in good health in order
Does-
to drain completely. Or several more if you want them to survive. Also, there is the possibility that if he remains in this feral state, that he could possibly turn others.
Oh.
So, I will give you a gift, which is more than you deserve.
Thank you.
I have found over many millennia that it is best to let them feed until, at least newborns feed, until their prey is destroyed. That way there is no chance for them to create rabid feral thralls that continue to spread and run amok and create problems for all of us. I understand that is not always an option, but however, I consider myself to have at least my own moral compass, and some rats of society could do better if they crawled into a corner and died. I curate the meals.
Are there any on the upcoming shopping menu that, so to speak, that you?
I gave you
want?
my gift.
I understand. I just trying to help you out as well, since you've been here longer than us.
She's asking for targets.
Yes.
A menu.
If
This
there are
is-
some that you want out of the way.
I think there's a misunderstanding here. it is now your responsibility to take care of my child.
Of course.
If you do not, and you fail in this endeavor, I will know, and I will eliminate him.
Of course, no. We're trying to take care of him. We're just if you had some people so that we could also help you with. That's all.
Consider this a test. If you can't figure it out on your own, then you are not worthy of taking care of my child. Fair?
It's fair. Are you okay with us staying here for him? At least
Of
him.
course, yes, please. I have many empty rooms of which I have emptied the denizens of. Therefore, there's much to be had here. There's good tapestries, nice beds. This entire tower I have claimed for myself,
Okay.
as well as the underground of it, which we'll talk about later.
Sounds good.
Speaking of which, as this sees the ray of the light start to beginning to move across the ground because the sun is starting to peak above the crenulations of the walls of the fort, it's about time that I retire as well. Feed your friend. Don't cause a panic, and don't cause hysteria. And we shall talk tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Shade, should you need anything, Shade? She turns her gaze from you, but she still holds the pole out. The side
Back over my orientation.
Yeah, no, it's very long, so she just made it longer to keep you in that spot. So you're
Oh, okay.
pressed into the corner so that you don't move any closer. Make sure they don't ruin too many things that I have built. She just kind of chews the fat of the side of her mouth and just cracks her neck for a moment before she lets the scythe drop and pulls it back quick like lightning and flips it, and it goes onto her back. It's very large, and the way it spins, it becomes a hair's breadth close to many of you to possibly cut your carotid or cut a hair off. But even blind, and she's an expert, and she's amazing at what she does, she might have done that on purpose to just show that Vlad made it very clear earlier that he's not someone to be messed with, neither is she. Not that the DM is trying to intimidate you, but you know how deadly these people are.
No, she
They
outright
were
killed
literally
me.
bred, built, and trained to be nothing but
Yeah.
killing machines.
Yeah.
Killed some of her friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, it's very meckle. Meh. So, Vlad, so if you'll excuse me, he will wake up in about an hour or so,
Okay.
and I will know if something happens to him.
Does he need to sleep during the day similar to you too? Or should we
Not
put him back to
necessarily.
bed?
I
Okay.
just prefer to because. Well,
That's a nice time today to sleep,
I don't
yeah.
have to.
Does he need to breathe?
I don't have to. No,
So I can shove him in a bag of holding and take him through the sunlight?
you could.
Okay.
Although I'm not sure how happy you would. Well, I mean, it's thing. I don't know what he's into, but
He might be
I
like,
had a
oh, it's
phase-
exciting to see my
okay.
inner workings of the
I had the
bag.
whole
I don't
coffin
know.
phase for a couple decades. We all go through that. Maybe he's going through it earlier than I am. Maybe, I don't know. But regardless, I will be unavailable for you. But I am sure that all of you have the capabilities of contacting me. I have other things to take care of. I don't need to sleep. I'm just retiring to other things. Technically, he doesn't need to sleep either, but
He needs to sleep right now.
it
Kind
would
of.
be wise for him to rest as much as possible and be fed as much as possible. Consider him a baby that you must take care of, that continues to shit and eat and sleep and cry, and that's all it does.
So, log.
Short
That happened
little
like
baby.
once.
Everybody gets one. It's okay.
Right now it's his turn. So
yeah.
Just a
Funny
very
story.
deadly baby that could kill an entire town left unattended.
I am mentally connected to him.
Yeah.
So unlike a mother, you can't fall asleep and escape me.
You can't, but he has the power to control that connection, and you don't.
No, I mean through Onculine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you ask Onculine to talk to him, and there's nothing
He might not
really-
have realized that quite yet, but
Yeah, I don't.
No, he had a moment
did say
of,
something. He
like-
said, "Oh, this is interesting.
He had too many things, and you told Argent
He was like-
float his brain.
Yeah.
And he had like a bunch
Stop.
of epiphanies and like stop it, like this might be useful, but also stop. Yeah, so a bunch of stuff happens. He does kind of like bow his head and walk out the door and close the door behind you, and you do not hear any footsteps as he exits the room. Shade exhales and says, "All right, I'll show you where you can sleep, where your rooms are. I doubt you're tired, but there are 2 rooms right above here that you can take. There are 2 beds each.
Thank you.
I'll be
Any
here.
Prospects that would be good for us to go deal with.
You want me to hunt for you?
That's
No,
not
no,
what
no,
I
no.
asked you.
Sounds like it.
I asked if you had any insight.
I think that's our test. We have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm an observer.
We were told not to fuck things up, so I'm wondering which paths to not go down. 'Cause
I had
we're
to do the
pretty good
same thing
fuck-ups.
you did. Vlad did the same thing to me. I was pissed too. But believe me when I say it's better if I don't help you.
Okay.
All right.
I trust you.
You shouldn't.
I
You shouldn't
appreciate.
trust anybody.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't actually trust you.
I'm here to step in if you fuck up royally.
Okay.
To make sure that Vlad and our efforts are not negatively affected.
So she has our backs.
She will get our backs if we fuck up.
No, I'll just pull your backs out of your backs.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Too
Look,
many
Be
backups.
careful. You don't know what back you'll pull out of that one.
I mean, you may, I'll be there. You may not see me, but I'll be there.
Pretty observant.
Who, you know what I am.
Mm-hmm.
In the spirit of transparency with this, because if we're going to work together, we have to know a little bit more. I had a falling out with the rest of us. I don't think they know, and if they do, they either think I'm dead or they can't find me, and I made sure that they didn't. She pulls out one of the amulets that's similar to the one that was handed to given to Zemdak. And I'd like to keep it that way. There's a reason why I asked you to check on my family in Nordvach.
Yeah. When was the last time that you saw them again? Just so that we.
I don't know.
Okay.
Does that
Time
make it?
kind of all bleeds together.
What's
It makes a lot more sense when Tiffany came after us.
Tiffany came after you?
yeah?
She was looking for you.
We took care of it, though.
They didn't.
What?
She didn't know where you were.
What do you
She
mean?
couldn't find you.
Yeah, we took care of it.
What do you mean you took care of it?
Like she's not after you now. She's after us.
I'm gonna need you to elaborate.
There's no more
Got
Tiffany.
away.
Yeah.
We got away.
Did she?
Yeah.
No.
Well, GM. Time out.
See, like,
Time out. GM, given my connection with Miss Shenny, during that time, I know I talked to her about everything that was going on, so I
you know that her. So yeah, on Trisheni's side, she was killed, burned, and her soul was destroyed.
But
On Misheni's side, a day later, she reappeared.
yeah, so
Because
Trisheni,
her like Dorken Rye power is immortality and like unstoppable force.
but because of that connection,
that's actually the
Trisheni,
name of her ability. It's
but
unstoppable
just
force.
making sure that because of that connection, Trisheni would know that.
She would know that Misheni saw Tiffany, or
Okay.
like Misheni would now know that, oh, that's who that is. That's Tiffany, because they saw the pink armor and everything, and you can make the connections. But you would know that there was a time after she was supposedly killed, destroyed, and annihilated that she was seen again, And
Okay.
if or someone who looked exactly like her with the same fucking abilities.
Okay.
Or
Just
like
want to
perhaps
make
a clone.
just want to make sure that I wouldn't
You
be
know that.
fucking up.
What that
things.
means to you is entirely up to you.
Well, okay. So
Did you ever share that with these guys? I
I
don't
mean,
think
it's-
you did because it
it's-
was a recent thing.
It hasn't been long enough. I think.
no,
Just put my arm
Yeah.
back together.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
A lot of
literally
shit has
yesterday.
happened.
And Trishani's just continuing to process everything, right? So like,
Yeah.
well, so saw her again after we saw her, or actually my sister saw her. Anyway, I guess
Wait, what?
You can always send her a message.
it was. I think based on the time, according to my calculations, next day she saw Tiffany, or at least somebody that looked like Tiffany and acted like Tiffany, like to the point. She was talking all about how fashion didn't make sense for Miss Jenny, and Miss Jenny didn't care.
Shay, do you really think we could destroy Tiffany?
I don't know anymore. Is she alive?
My sister saw her the next day. I don't know about today, but she was alive. Or some form of her was alive.
I was made to believe that she could not. She could not die.
That makes sense.
She's on the other side of something, but I still care for her. So
She was very passionate to try to find you. You might be able to change her mind.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like a per target sort of situation.
It seemed like she was coming for you to try to save you or something like that.
thank you for letting me know.
She was still very scary. Just so you know, she was still very scary. So
That's one of the things I love about her.
I know.
Scary and fashionable. Can't dance though.
No.
She slays. Literally. She slays.
Yeah.
All right, look. Thank you for telling me. I don't communicate with the rest of the Dorken and Rai, and I'm technically in hiding with the rest of them for good reason, as we discussed before. Our motivations are different. It's more personal for me. Not necessarily against them, but more about my family, let's just say, or what was taken from me, the time that was taken from me, and having a bit of a conscience and realizing what is actually. It took me a while to realize what was important to me. And it took me a while to realize who was controlling me and how I was being manipulated. So I had to leave. And I had to kill on my way out. That's all I really want to say about it for now.
Do you think she needs a hug?
Probably not from
Try
me.
it.
I need you to get out of the way. Because I don't want to have to kill again on my way out.
Is one question for you, since you
I'll
asked.
move behind Argus.
Is Sofka
And she starts to walk out of the room, but
Did
she's
you-
listening.
is Sofka alive? Last you saw her.
Are you the
The rat
In-
girl.
with the vitiligo?
Yeah.
I dropped her off in the snow.
All right.
Kept trying to hurt me. Understandably so.
She was very angry towards the end.
She's on my list of people to apologize to. But that might be quite a few years before.
Yeah.
That.
Just
Dropped her off somewhere north near Loshma. We've got transportation circles all over the continent.
Oh,
Many of which I'm very familiar with. The secret ones, the ones that are much older than the ones that were put there sometimes before the cities even started. And from what the history lessons that I learned while being part of the conclave, or at least working for them, those formations and foundations of building those towns, cities, were planned.
Hmm.
And so Conclave got there first, did the thing, and then manipulated public opinion in order to make sure that those cities were built around them. These people are extremely powerful. I don't know all of their other plans, I just know what they tell me to do, and they make sure they keep it pretty compartmentalized. I've tried to keep my ear to the ground, those types of things, but I've had to disappear. I'm, at least until the heat's off, which might be several centuries.
decades. Yeah.
Well, we're here to
What?
help.
Right.
And
Weird that I met Vlad.
perhaps.
Didn't I? I did.
What, you helped him save him?
I fought him. Remember?
Yeah. Well,
Kinda. Oh. I don't really have anything else for you. You know as much as I'm willing to tell you. But do you remember that, a big scorpion, that big metal scorpion you fought?
yes. Yes. It was a menace.
Yeah, fuck that thing.
Yeah, no, that's my fault. Kind of. Not really. But yes, one of my... Each Dorkenenrai has a specialty for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But we're all very good at what they do. We do. We're good at everything. Anyway, mine is to be able to eliminate people who are in tune with the magics of the world.
Mages.
They used to tease me by calling me Mage Slayer when I was younger. I had to kill a couple of them. It's part of
That's
weeding
what
out
they
the
made you
weak.
to be.
Programming.
I mean, looking back on it, it was trauma. But anyway, the doctor fostered that ability in me when I was inoculated, and then harnessed, and proliferated that ability to be used in another conclave member's inventions. Hence, the scorpions. One of the reasons why they hurt the mages so much, and why they can sense wherever they teleport. If you find one, kill it, because it'll follow you wherever you go. You can't teleport away from it. It will follow you. It'll also stop you from using magic to leave.
Just add that to my list of people that follow me through dimensions. It's fine. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed they
Yeah.
really were into making sure that you were... Anyway,
Yeah. Do you mind, as long as we're here, we're going to be here for probably 7 days at least, I'm imagining, given the infant state. Infant, in quotes.
I mean, no, he's been a baby the whole time. Like,
No, he
Guys,
hasn't.
I'm right here.
But, would you mind...
Oh,
may-
Zemdek.
I think I've almost cracked the code with
Other baby.
teleportation circles. I could maybe work with you to learn those and be another source to help
you
get us
want...
where we need to be
you-
and where you need to be.
You want the information that has been used to sway nations, kill kings, for who knows how many eons, and that a handful of people across the world know as a favor?
No, as part of an alliance in which we are working together, as somebody else that might
Why
be
don't we
able to
build
help.
that first?
That's fine. I still think your moves are super
I
cool.
don't really have any alliance to the conclave. Or I love my sisters.
Yeah, that's fair.
I want to save them if I can, but I also know some of them could be possibly beyond saving. But I also understand that what I mean by save, if they don't want what I want, then that's, I have to accept that.
Maybe we build it together with them too, when the time is right.
We'll see. It wasn't long ago where
I
I
remember you.
didn't kill you.
No, I remember.
And
I still have a
didn't
scar.
even message you once.
I know.
That took a lot of restraint.
It's true.
I did ask him every once in a while, like, "Hey, what's Tiffany up to?"
No, you can't.
And he couldn't.
I don't think she would kill me.
No, she would.
Yeah, she would.
She killed me. Well,
The
almost
moment you
killed
become
me.
a problem, you're gone.
Can I do an insight check?
Absolutely.
Oh, damn. 16.
That is the unadulterated absolute. There are few things that are absolute in this
She
universe.
will murder you.
Yeah.
That is a universal absolute. That is a fact.
She will murder you.
Well,
But you also you also get the pang of she might not be fully happy about it.
we'll work on that. And then I'll smile like,
When did you pick up this?
2 days ago?
It was
No, it
really
wasn't
fucking
too-
recent.
Yeah, more than 2 days. Had to be more.
it feels like
Less
more
of a
than 2
pickup,
days.
more you just kind of latched on. I'm
Last
not really
week,
sure how it all worked out.
sometime-ish, within the last
Not-
week.
Well, to be fair, you still have the book, so technically
We're,
we're still trading.
we're
Listen, I'm
working
not as old
together.
as Vlad, so I'm not as forgiving.
I do not
Yeah.
here for trading.
His presence puts
No, I
all of
meant
us in
the book.
danger.
I know. I'm
Yeah. The
saying
doctor
you're
knows-
not here for trading.
The doctor knows where he is. He could at any time.
Oh, no. He shoved him out.
What?
He used his godlike powers to shove the doctor out of my head.
I'm not touching that.
But Vlad did say that he might have a part of you, and maybe could have some other ways of finding you.
He could
Yeah,
at
but
least-
I might also have a part of her.
I wouldn't bring that up.
Also, I mean, if you're... I'm sure the doctor has a lot more important things to do with than you. So you might be low on the priority list.
We might be intriguing, but not any more than just that's interesting.
I'll make a deal with you. You make my life less difficult, and I'll might be willing to do the same.
That's fair.
Don't trust me, and I will not always tell you the truth.
Did
We hope you understand the same.
It's the life I live.
Did you work with the doctor in his research? Doctor. That doctor.
I was his research. We all were. All of the Dorkan and Rye. We were constructed, created.
Is she in the book?
I mean, I don't see any. Just flipping through it super quickly.
You remember all like the whole how this is like Da Vinci
Oh,
out,
yeah.
and how it's just like what? How the hell can you? Like this person is super paranoid about that. I believe you got like a little bit of it, and I don't remember exactly how we discussed how you were able to transcribe and do some cryptography about
It's gonna
it.
take time.
But
That's
there were some
basically-
broad strokes I think you got of stuff, and some of the pictures you were able to discern. But yeah, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
Maybe something worth delving into with downtime. It's the same thing with the book that you got from Emrys, and like this book and Cole's book. Like this is all stuff that you have that at certain moments, if you want to try to delve and get more information, there's going to be almost always more information to get from these things. Even if I perhaps say that there might be not, I may be fibbing. Who knows? Because roles are a thing.
All right.
So there's, but yeah, all of it takes work. You're dealing, a lot of the books that you have, you're dealing with, I don't think Cole's intelligence was extremely high.
No.
He was still a very apt writer and
Yeah.
knew what he was doing and knew all the tips and tricks to make sure that, hopefully it was the facts and a bit of embellishments there that makes it, every story is better with a dragon type of thing, but still
Helped interpret
integrity.
those type of things.
Yeah.
And also trying to make sure that's like, if somebody ever got a hold of it, it wouldn't be it wouldn't topple nations type of thing. Make
Right.
sure that they were careful about what they put in there to not.
I mean,
do
he
too
was
much.
still making it for the
Yeah,
college.
it was for
You know,
himself.
yeah.
And anyway, so she says we all were chosen, taken, kidnapped when we were young, loved in a sense as daughters, and improved through excruciating procedures and experimentations. One of the reasons why we're so tall. We weren't always this tall. It's one of the reasons why we can do what we can do. It's one of the reasons why Tiffany was so beautiful. She was perfect. She is perfect. You remember Shadow?
Yes.
You remember what she could do?
Yeah.
She was one of my mentors. She was an older one. Didn't look it because that's part of our construction, but
How?
and I had to get rid of her. You remember that, right?
Yeah. Are
Do you understand the depths of pain that I am currently in?
I can only imagine.
I had to kill my sister.
Yeah.
Who was a mother to me as well.
I know that's we're all fucked up, but always here at the Londoneer if you want to talk.
The doctor likes to toy with his toys. Was kept in line mostly with our project because of the rest of the conclave, but you seem like a lot of some of the others that I remember just yo-yoing around, trying to test some things, taking what they want from you and then leaving the rest, so gets bored easily.
No. His intellect or their intellect makes sense.
If you can convince Vlad to get you one of these, I'd recommend it.
He told you how to make it, right? We can maybe
Yeah, he told me that I needed to heat it up until it was extremely hot and like past its boiling point and
Right.
melting point, and it was not something that we could actually do without, the blood of ghost
the mountain.
flame.
Oh, okay.
It was something where conventionally the innate magic, you wouldn't be able to heat it up that hot. But the innate magics of the blood of the mountain, of the particular that is like innately magical of the magma that's in the Razor Fang, it is capable of doing. There could be other ways of you to be able to do it if you use magic and a couple other things, but there's
It
no
was also-
mundane conventional way of getting it to that point because it's still a magical item. Like it's got
It was
to
opal
some.
and spent tears.
It's got to somehow have some gravity that is stronger than the mundane existence of the universe.
We can mess with some of that.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit tapped. I'm really tired.
You get tapped?
Emotionally.
Thank you for showing us our rooms. We'll figure out what we can do to help Zemdak, and let us know. We'll figure out how to help your family too. Okay?
And she starts to open the door, and she doesn't turn around. She says, chances are you may come to blows with one of my sisters. She doesn't turn around. She doesn't face any of you guys. I don't have the right to ask you this. But don't kill them. They know not what they do.
We can try talking first, but
I understand that's nigh impossible. I know what they're capable of.
Doesn't mean we can't
we can,
find other ways after.
we can try. It's hard to do when they cut your head off, though, already, you know.
I don't know why, but I believe you. And I don't know why, but I think you are capable of doing it. So,
Wouldn't be the first one I brought back to life.
I'm sorry?
Wouldn't be the first person I'd bring back to life.
Oh. There you go.
It sounded like there was
Because I'd be worried about their teleportation.
I'm gonna go. I need a bit of a break. So don't get into any trouble in the next few hours, please.
No promises.
We'll try.
Take
Just-
the words out of my mouth.
Sorry, just knowing us.
Well,
We have to go find a meal. That's
he's
what I
gonna
mean.
wake up within an hour,
Yeah.
and we need something for him to drink.
We'll figure something out.
Oh,
We'll figure something out.
as she starts to close the door, I almost forgot. Vlad told me to give you this if I thought you deserved it. Or he said if I was going to decide not to kill you tonight, I should give you this, and I
Okay.
agreed. So here, and she pulls out from the small of her back. She has like some sort of either magnetic or latched or magical thing that has a adamantine chain attached to it that's latched onto a just absolutely stunningly, not opulent because it's slim and sleek, but this modern, not contemporary modern, but this mid-century modern looking book that has geotome, that has like those geometric like shapes into it, kind of like the Tesla truck had those weird shapes and those types of things, like a geometric figure that you're doing with STL and only has a certain piece of facets. And it is along the spine, it has that weirdness to it, and it's sleek and smooth along the front and the back, and it has an adamantine chain that runs through the back of the spine. And the pages are made of you don't know what, but they're so just the way she handles them as she flips them, she barely touches them or touches them at all as they move like air and don't seem to be actually attached to the book, as some of them actually come up into the air and she moves it like some futuristic thing. It doesn't look like a hologram, it's actually parchment, but it's this is actually who was there at the Fothid Ruins site
Weren't we all?
We all were.
except for Meckel.
Yeah.
I don't think Meckel was there. You guys were there?
Yeah.
Oh, but you're still
unconscious.
You're unconscious right now. Can you guys roll a nature check or an arcana check for me as she does this? Also, Trisheni, just by you seeing her do this, the amount of just spells and scrolls that she goes through is mouth-watering.
Yeah, I'm
And
like,
there's
oh.
so like she starts out with these like crazy powerful things. You can just the feeling you get from it is like just that being here is causing light to bend because of how powerful this spell is.
9.
9,
19?
19.
5.
Licks your chops. Trisheni, you get the feeling
I don't agree with
that these pages appear to be made out of the vellum of an extremely powerful mythologic beast, similar to this thing that the bones of something that you saw, not only within the Razor Fang, but also in the Fothid Ruins.
Right.
Like perhaps
Dragon.
dragon vellum, like dragon
Yeah.
leather. This, and it's like, it looks not aged and weathered, but just the provenance of old and ancient. She's got shit. You see her go through and she plucks a page out of the air and then she gestures and they go back into the book and and you hear the chain run through it itself. All of this does it by its own, as though she's doing telekinesis and just gesturing. And she hands you a page.
What? Okay. thank you. I mean, that's. I
don't
am
trust you.
speechless. I know.
But I'm not going to kill you. And you have to make sure that he doesn't get killed. So
Yeah.
I've got a couple extras of those. Take it. I'm not happy about it. I made that one up myself.
Thank
Can
you.
I roll an insight check to see if she's actually happy about it?
You got it.
24.
There is like a pang of. You heard her explaining the kind of solidarity of sisterhood that she had with her Dirty Ken and Rai. There is like kind of a pang of. I don't have any of my sisters here anymore. I miss them so fucking very much, but I know like I want this and I hope that they can join me. And like there's just a sense of relief of like maybe there is someone else that knows what it is to be who I am and has sisters and is able to do the kind of arcana thing and there's like this thought of like maybe what if that kind of is fleeting in her mind. Just you kind of get from. Rather than, I'm not happy about this. She's like, I'm not happy about it, but yeah, you kind of get that pang there. What's up, Meckel?
Oh,
You
no, just sort of like,
I just didn't know if you were raising your hand.
no.
Okay.
I was reacting to the.
She does
I
that and
could
quickly
be a
says,
sister
all right,
kind of thing.
it might take you a
Thank you.
while, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
Dance.
Be careful. Don't
Thank you. What?
blow yourself up.
I'll try not to again. It's
I help with that.
And by that, I just mean because you're probably going to be in a place where other people are going to get hurt, so don't do that. I don't really
right.
care about any of you fucks I'm talking about.
Posterity, keeping things on the down low, and
Sure.
I
Okay.
usually help her not blow up.
Okay.
we
I'm
kind
gonna
of feed the,
Usually.
feed the fire every once in a while. It's fine.
I'm going to try to leave on a better note and pretend I didn't hear that.
Thank you. We'll find your family in Nornbotch. But
Okay.
just let us know their names and stuff at some point, because it might be a little hard otherwise. But we can talk about it later.
Different name that we should be.
Yeah.
We
What?
only know your code name. What would your family name be?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember. You know that spell I did on this fuck?
Yeah.
The doctor was really skilled.
Well, I
Okay,
might
I'm
be
gonna
able
go.
to pull-
All right. Thank you.
Don't use that on me,
No, that would be silly.
or she'll eat you. And she references to her big scythe.
She already
She walks
did.
out the door. And
I don't want another tea. I don't want to eat
she
again.
walks out the door and like does that whole. She was walking very lightly, and then she like makes it a point to make you aware of how heavy her armor is and how heavy her greaves are upon her. Slowly fades away.
Bye, sis.
She actually was happy to give you this.
You hear a
Really?
feel a groan in the back of your spine.
She's so cool.
A little bit of
She
sweat.
actually wanted.
For reference, because she like gave it to you and she told you what it is and it's her spell that she make up.
Yeah.
This is a scroll of Soul Eater.
Whoa. That makes sense for.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's why her weapon is the way it is.
Yeah.
That's why it eats spell slots.
So
It's so exciting.
I have a question.
What?
I
Question? I was worried about what spell she got.
I got Soul Eater, which is
so we're trading Zemdek for somebody else
No.
No.
We are acquiring someone for Zemdek.
to eat.
Yes.
They could be shits here and be.
So we're
all
gonna start with the
intents and
guards.
purposes,
And
Right,
and
that's
so
where
you
we're-
get to judge.
It's not a judgment sort of thing.
I mean, it is.
I mean, what if?
Yeah. Would you rather judge?
Vlad?
I'm just
Vlad handed you the gavel, judge, jury, and executioner. This is a responsibility, and you have to prove to him that you are worthy of that
Oh
responsibility.
no. Matt understands that. Meckel, on the
I'm
other
sorry.
hand, is
I'm
trying
so
to.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it. So. Never mind. I'll just watch what you do. And follow
Well,
that.
I'm totally open to your perspective.
My perspective is I don't know enough So I will follow your judgment on who it's okay to kill to feed to him.
Ask us
Okay.
Ask questions though. Always ask. It's never. No one person should ever be judge, jury, and executioner.
That's why I
That's
picked
why you
him.
need to be
He's
lawyers.
he's a god, not a person.
He's a person. I'll give you demigod
God,
at
Emperor.
most.
God person.
We smelled his farts already. He's, he,
It's very
Argus
much
Firebeard,
person.
the
Yeah,
fiery
when
god
you light
person.
them on fire.
It is kind of funny.
You guys are gonna have to give yourselves your own titles and honorifics now.
I'm already trying to start that one.
So where do you start searching?
Well, it kind of depends on what everyone else thinks. What?
there's a whole section of the market down there that just sells stolen shit. We should start the people who steal shit.
Don't you steal shit?
Did-
We all
isn't that, like,
steal
your-
shit,
your
yeah?
Old like.
Yeah, I was a shit. Like, so
Did
So
you
we can
deserve the
feed him
die?
to Zemdek.
a lot of people try to kill me in the process.
Yeah, but did you deserve to die? Were you just stealing because you needed to survive?
Yeah, that's what we did.
Right.
That's how we operate.
So you
And people
stole-
tried to kill me every time I did it.
right.
So you stole to eat, but it's okay to kill you to feed him.
No, I'm not stealing now. This was
No.
before.
Right. We're not going to get anywhere. I think she just turns to Argus.
Only you could summon someone for him to eat.
I could, but they're dead.
No, out of your dream powers.
Well, then I'd have to go to sleep.
Okay, that's not a part of Vlad. Vlad tasked us to do this, so we gotta do it.
So you're just gonna go pick one at random?
It's never gonna be random.
I mean, it could be.
Like a push the button type of situation.
You gain a Zemdek.
Is there
someone
wait,
randomly
can
somewhere?
you buy someone somewhere?
Yes, that's called.
We're
We are not. in
There,
the
there's certain
slave trade.
establishments
No.
where
Oh, speaking of which, do you think we might find some of the Red Brand here?
we might find the right syndicate here.
Red Line Syndicate?
I mean, maybe
What
I'd,
fucks that we could let him eat?
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean if they like again, if it was like a super low henchman, maybe not. Maybe they're also just trying to feed their family, but like full blown officer? Oh, that'd be great. Little chaos.
I mean, there's no such thing as just following orders. I mean, like it's
Yeah,
when you're in the club, you're in the club,
that's fair. You did sign the contract earlier on.
right?
I mean, how would we get to know someone? Oh, I don't have that spell today. It's my day. Could always use Zone of Truth and be like, so, what the fuck?
And
What? You know.
I mean, once we identify someone, I can suggest that they follow me, lead them back here, and then,
We need to find someone who no one's going to miss and who is a fuck.
yes. I still like searching there first. Can't do too high ranking officials here because people will notice, of course. Even though I know that some of this stuff is messed up.
You missed a good exchange.
All right, well, let's go look for some.
Do we just say that we need a slave? Pretend we go into the market, say, oh, we
can
need
see if
somebody
they
to.
have any slave traders.
Yeah.
So we can buy people.
No.
No.
So that
We're
we.
here to attack the people who sell people.
Right.
Yeah.
'Cause no one should be
All
owned
right,
by
don't-
anybody else.
I will just follow you.
You are aware of the commerce here. The slave trade is still active. The protectorate is in due to Lady Rhea's new statutes and new type of policies she's trying to initiate has been made illegal and has been abolished and is in the process of making restitution and reparations and finding these people that are still engaging in this trade and making them accountable and holding them, arresting them, and giving, sanctioning them and all the things. Like, there are bounty hunters that have been hired to just, if they wouldn't surrender, just take care of people that are still engaging it because it's been made illegal, and she views it as despicable. However, although they are the nation with the most official amount of square footage of land within the nation, the Razorfang has never actually had a slave trade. The Razorfang Agreement has never actually had a slave trade because they never had a need for it. Because if they needed something, if they needed extra labor, they would just build constructs, and they viewed the slave trade as inhumane. There was a time during the go ahead and roll me a history check.
I'm unconscious.
You're unconscious. Sorry. Sorry, you'll wake up. But once they decide to have a few
Oh,
hours.
Razorfang, yeah.
8.
I'm trained in it. I rolled a 3.
Yeah. I mean, like,
That's
you don't know the
Focusing during that
details.
lesson.
You don't know the details, but you do know that there was some like hubbub about the using a power source that was conscious for some of their constructs, like whether that be elementals or something else. And there was there was valid concerns that were raised about it, and it stopped being used because of that. And we're now only used as just machines that were powered by some sort of piece of energy that don't have consciousness. It's just a machine that does the thing. And that is the only thing that has been legalized for forced labor. There's a lot of gray area there because of how Zect-Tect work, but a lot of Zect-Tect have been retrofitted to no longer have the capacity to have conscious thought. They didn't like lobotomize them. They were just already dead, gone, destroyed, and they only repaired the mechanical parts that could move with basic commands, and that was it. They didn't repair the positonic brain or have the lost technology of being able to do that.
Yeah.
So Razorfang never had it. Protectorate has currently abolished it about a couple months ago, and is in the process of getting rid of that. Maw, the Mauritian people, it's still there. It's run by a bunch of rich people. Run by a bunch of rich merchants and rich family names. It's alive and well in Karasova, to be sure. This is absolutely something Trisheni and Masheni would just know because they grew up with it.
And here, in this town,
Throughout the mall.
Because we're in the bottom south corner that's also close to like where
You're
the
at-
Red Lions would be.
yeah. Closer, yeah.
Yeah, you are at Fort Yeda, which is so technically the actual geographic territorial line between the Protectorate and the Maw is the Torrid Torrent. That's about 100 miles south of here. But this is the first actual national, like, militaristic strategic building, as far as you're aware of. You're sure there's probably other stuff, nomadic stuff scattered around within the Maw to the south. One of the things that might have been used was placed here, who knows how long ago, but it is something that might have been used during the war with the Selendian Empire in case they tried to go through the Fothid ruins and come around. Fort Regata would be something. The Maw does it itself because the Maw is deadly to traverse. You couldn't march an army across here without massive amounts of resources and be really know what you're doing and have all of your forces be top fucking notch, which is why all they needed, should they have ever needed it, but it doesn't seem like history needed it, was Fort Yeda to be like, oh, all we need is a well-fed, battalion, and we can take on an army of thousands, because in order to get, which is why they put it so far back, because they would have had to gone through all this desert and all this harsh terrain to get there, and they would have been near death by the time they got to something that could give them a fight. And so it was very strategic why they put that there. The Maw itself is its own defense. So because of that, the slave trade has been something that the Maw has used for as long as anyone can remember. It wasn't. They don't necessarily treat them badly, other than the fact that they are slaves. It's horrible. It's beyond reproach. I'm sorry. It's beyond despicable. They don't. As you mentioned, the Red Lion Syndicate are people that have indentured servitude, that for all intents and purposes are slaves, that treat them horribly. Log is quite familiar with this personally in first person. They treat them less than humane. Slaves in again, they don't really have the name slaves. I don't have another word for it as far as I can think of, and I'm just trying to make it easy for you all to understand. So, but they are allowed to own property. They're allowed to buy themselves back and then be free. They're allowed to do that type of thing, but it's still not an easy thing to do, and the people that do it are the rich. That's it. Most of the stuff is nobody is born into slavery. If two slaves have a child, that child is free. They can do whatever it wants. It is not owned by the slave owner. It's not owned by anything. There is no economic thing where because they don't have the possibility to be able to support themselves, they have to sell themselves in order to be able to support. No, the community is legally required to take care of free children that don't have those types of things. There are programs to be able to take care of that stuff, but it doesn't always go well. It's still not a super efficient system. Basically, is that by that I mean that the only way for people to become slaves is if they do it voluntarily, and once they do that, they forfeit their rights. They forfeit a lot of stuff. They sell themselves, and they're not treated good at all. But they're not. They're not the Red Lion Syndicate. Is the best way I can describe it. Granted, that's entirely varies, depending on who owns who. All of the slave owners are rich or very, very powerful merchants. That's it. That's how the slave trade works in the Maw. Sarn-Le and the Lithuanian Confederacy, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They will take you and own you, and they'll treat you horribly, and it doesn't matter. Shailene Cradle, you don't know anything about that's going on.
What about the Lawambans?
The Lawambans never had a slave trade either. The Lawambans were actually a peoples that were at one point part of the protectorate and then seceded and became their own nation. They do not have a slave trade. They actually have parties that go out into other nations, like conducting special ops on foreign soil in order to eliminate people that do that, because they were once a nation of people that trace their heritage back to some of the more original primordial heritage of the whole nation before stuff started to get before the Celendian Empire and before all this stuff, and they decided to want to make their own nation to become better connected with the world, Gaia, nature, live in harmony, have food forests instead of farms, those types of things. So there's kind of some druidic stuff in there, but a lot of almost who. You grew up near the Wamba. Why don't you roll a history?
When
check
I spent,
for me?
that's where the mines were.
Yeah, that's where the
So
mines were.
did they know that the Red Lion Syndicate were operating under their noses?
Yes, they know the Red Lion Syndicate were there. It was allowed. It was allowed for them to do so because of some wibbly wobbly loophole laws that allowed them to work on their soil and yada yada. And they paid the Wamban government a lot of money to be able to
Corruption
get
always trumps legal.
exactly a lot of money to be able to have mining rights there, and because, as you have noticed, the machine of the Wamban nation is trying to take more and more land and pieces and try to even take it away from the protectorate and move into the Rubicon Plateau and start to try to move towards the the Sufsal atoll and try to take all that stuff. As remember in Sasso, they were there trying to say hey, you can trust us. We're going to start to take over this area, everything. And there's not a whole lot that the protector can do for it because it's like the Roman Empire. It's just too big. It can't really do what it's saying. And of all the shit that was going on with the leadership and in the capital, so
So we've thought about the
short
Roman
story
Empire
long
today.
about politics.
Let's go
Yeah.
find somebody that Zemdek we can be comfortable feeding Zemdek.
You were going to have me roll something?
There are absolutely scum of the earth people here, yes, that you could
Yeah.
absolutely get to. Yeah, yeah. It's just that ownership trade works differently depending on what nation you're in.
Before we go, what are we going to do with Semtek? He's asleep for an hour. Should we put them in the bag? Or should we...
I mean, we got
leave him here?
manacles and a ball gag. I mean,
Is somebody going to stay with him?
Yeah, but he said he needed to make it titanium or
Did anybody
anything.
spend any time in the capital of the Protectorate?
No.
Nope.
We never
Would've-
got there.
Maybe you,
Yeah, but
because of
if I did need,
at the,
part of a
you
caravan.
probably spent more time in the Protectorate than anybody else. Can you roll another history check then for me? Because this is very other important information.
21.
21. You know, it's actually a banner day because you know that there was actually an agreement between the Primarch and the new Lady Rhea, that the Primarch was going to start to initiate the abolishment of ownership of people in the nation, but it's a big ship and it turns slow. And unfortunately, as they were in the process of being able to do that, and because it's a massive piece of commerce, big ship turns slowly, and yes, there was people died, people were freed, people celebrated. It was a lot of stuff happened. That's when the breach happened, and when the Primarch got forced out, and so things have kind of fallen back on their heel, and progress has been halted when it comes to that. So there's definitely people that are taking advantage of that for sure.
Question: how much roughly? Not that Meckel would know this, but how much is a titanium ball gag?
So titanium, remind me, titanium is an alloy, correct?
Nope. Titanium's a.
It's its own element, right?
Or whatever we're talking the
Adamantine?
yeah.
Adamantine is worth 100 times its weight in gold, if not more,
Could I
depending
do
on how
it?
pure it is.
Could I? Is it within 100 gold pieces?
No.
Absolutely not. Maybe 100 platinum.
1 gram of it. Maybe. Right?
Maybe.
We had a little bit, and I have a friend who has a lot bit.
Are there horses here or camels?
There are. There are
Okay.
both. There are both.
Specified, not animal.
Um,
For me, by the way.
those things that we saw down.
Oh, that you're
in
not
the,
an animal?
The,
No.
for his
feeding.
feeding.
For the next 7
At
days.
Well, that's
the-
specified, not
where they
animal.
can't close their
Humanoid.
mouth. When we came in,
Yeah,
they
the riding
stopped
animals?
it from.
With blood.
I-
You want a bit for him?
I can make a bit
That's
for
not
him. Is
dead.
that what it's called? I can
Can't
make
go
him a
Twilight
bit.
and feed on
He
the,
won't be able
the
to
bears.
bite all the way.
He's
You also can't feed on like zombies or anything like that. You can't do
Yes.
it.
gosh.
Because you don't want him to bite,
Sentient,
right?
living
And I could
Yeah,
try making
being.
one of
Yeah,
those.
No,
You also
could-
got
we
to
could-
feed on something that has like
we could take the
hemoglobin
bone and make him
and
a-
not
a
like
No,
adamantine
weird acid
bit.
blood or
No,
some
I mean
bullshit
I
like
can
that.
just make a bit now.
Well,
It has to be strong enough, but he also said his teeth would shatter, so it's probably not a good idea.
Well,
But his
and
bone-
she
his-
said it would grow back.
I mean, look at his shoulder
Insectoids
blades.
or-
They're back to where they were.
But I mean, doesn't it like sit behind the teeth?
I
Here, give me a second.
Well,
I
you
will.
remember that like serial killer guy, like Hannibal, like he has the
Yeah.
mask. We just need something that goes over, so that he can't actually like.
that seems more humane. You know, like
What,
just
then using his dog bone as adamantine
Like a
bit?
stove
it would
thing.
be a little kinky, but
like a stove. Hold on. I'm going
like a
to.
horse.
Zemdek's body is just
a bit.
nodding.
I'm actually so at the for winter or whatever they had the potbelly stoves. I'm assuming in the mansion with the grates that come out.
Talking about like a hunter's stew?
No, he's talking about a stove.
Oh,
A
okay,
stove,
just the sto-
a
oh, the
stove,
stove, I'm
like
sorry.
with the grates in the front that you open up, put wood or whatever, and then close it.
Yeah,
burning
yeah.
stuff.
I'm
Hot
going
belly
to
or like actual full, like all the
right.
different
I'm
compartments?
going to use my performance of creation to sing into being a very small version of that grated door with handles on each side.
I have a question. Does the item need to exist and then you just animate it with
No,
the creation?
this isn't animated. I'm just can make any item that isn't magical. That's
You have to sleep first to
Well,
get access to your
We're
level
all
9
no.
stuff.
This is I would get this at third level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. We were just moving some stuff around to make it, yeah.
Right. So, yeah, as long as it's not 100 gold piece worth of value, I can make a grate that we can just put a leather through to tie
You want
Like she said.
You want a Nezuko Zemdek?
Basically, that's what you were talking about, right?
I mean, I think we all decided that that'd be better than a
Okay.
bit.
I will hand you the metallic item I just created. It'll last
How'd you
How
do
long
that?
did it take you to do it?
an action.
How
Um,
No, how long does it last?
I think it's 2 hours.
Okay, can you do that in like
You want to muzzle him.
40 minutes? Because I feel
Cool.
like he'll wake up, then we can put it on. I'm
Alright,
just
let's
thinking
go
about
see if we
that.
can find someone.
It can last for 3 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we still bring him with us or no?
No.
Point of
Do we want to
order.
be parading around,
I can sit with
That's
him.
fair.
Point of order, just so you guys are aware, you will get your level up over the course of your downtime that will be happening at some point very, very soon. So
That's 2
once
hours.
we get to the point where we can start stretching time. But you don't have it quite yet. You need to you do the RP of like how you get all these abilities and these things over this downtime, and we'll go and do little scenes throughout.
I mean,
So yeah,
It's
it'll
not
last
quite
for
yet.
2 hours.
okay. You don't have to be present for it, or may I suggest, if you go with Argus and Log to find it, and I stay with him, just for you when he
We need
when the
you.
last but the last time that he fed
But
off his
last time
blood.
you did a fun suggestion,
I
and you got
know.
the guy to be super friendly.
I know. Okay.
I think
okay.
we need your power.
Well, then we need some my powers. It's just I don't talk well. It's all right. What we need somebody to stay with him then, or we bring him back. One or the other. Because
I'm fine with the bag.
I mean, we can just throw him in right
Feel
now,
it.
and then he doesn't have to argue about it later. He'll just wake up and,
He'll be stuck in his bag. He'll wake up in the bag feral and eat the dead corpse.
No, we put the muzzle on him, manacle him, put him in the bag.
he'll
Those
break
are
the
not, like,
manacles.
those are normal manacles.
He'll break it. His muscles are bulging a little bit more.
I'm not particularly strong.
Yet.
Don't you use strength as your whack?
Oh.
You use dex?
No, intelligence, because he's a
Intelligence
fucking...
phrasing.
Oh,
As a battlesmith, I get to use intelligence.
Smarty pants.
Okay. Well, we either leave him here.
Buddy,
It has to be a
Workers-
magical
the
weapon
town
for
when
me
he
to
wakes
use
up.
intelligence
that
with.
makes sense.
I mean, we're really going to walk a
You
gimp
just,
through
You
town.
hack it. You
I
hack
wasn't
the
gonna
magic
walk
to make it
it anywhere.
that much more powerful.
Correct.
I was
Well, we
gonna
need
bring
to
someone
decide-
back here.
Wait.
We got to do this soon. Right? 'Cause
Could
isn't he going to wake up and want a sandwich or something?
wait a second. Could Bagak
Not really a sandwich, but
keep an eye on him?
Baka can't tell us.
Yeah, I mean, he won't be able to, like, communicate
liver
with us
center.
or do anything.
Leave Shakar hidden.
Shakar's not here yet. I need to summon him back.
I mean, I could...
We were traveling a lot.
You cannot feed on
Twag's
familiars.
here, right?
Twig is here.
he's twitching. I have
could
an
summon
idea,
Yorick,
but I'm sleeping.
Because then York could actually, like,
Right.
do something if he gets out.
Right.
How long
And
does your class?
An hour.
Okay, so all right. We have
How long will it take you guys to go buy a person?
I don't know.
But then I can't suggest
They're not
someone
buying
follow
anymore.
us.
You need to yeah.
Because as soon as I suggest someone follow us, then York goes poof.
I will be fine if we just muzzle him and put him in the bag.
What do I have today? Let's flipping through things.
Prison.
Okay.
Do
So
you have any like alarm or anything? That
I
we can
don't
Kinda...
I don't have that. I could turn him into something else for a bit.
What?
Turn him into like a little I don't know, some
Plant?
no, not a plant, a little creature, if you will.
What has the smallest mouth?
Daddy Longleg.
Yeah, it would be able to pierce the skin. Hit points would, like, his amount of longevity would be very little.
Turn me into a little spider, put me in a jar.
We totally could. I have next
We'll
year.
poke holes in the lid, it'll be fine.
No, he
I
doesn't.
don't- he
need to
doesn't
breathe.
need it,
We don't have to
yeah.
poke holes.
But I mean, how
But will
long
the
does,
spider form need a
An
how long
hour.
does polymorph? Yeah,
An
so
hour.
You still have a timeline on that.
So, okay, what if we put him in the bag for the next like 40-ish minutes. Still put the gag on him.
Okay.
Then we turn him into something else when time comes up. Put him into a little daddy long legs.
Can he get out of the bag by himself?
No.
I don't know. We'll see what he meets in there.
I mean,
Well, I
it is
mean-
his own bag. That is an interesting conundrum. Will
But,
he
but if
know
you but
his
if you put him
own-
in there and he can't get out, then it doesn't matter how long we leave him in there,
We
right?
put him in the box?
I think all the box is completely filled.
No,
yeah?
we had him as a part of the box.
Well, no,
Right.
but then we put the door in the spot that he was in.
All right. So
So yeah, so the box is full right now. So I mean, we could leave the door here and put him in the box.
let's do that. Why don't we do that? That's a
What's
really
what's
good dialogue. All right.
I have one every once in a while.
I know. It's a.
Once every red moon.
Do we need to like put a rat or something in there with him in case he gets peckish?
It sounds like the rats won't work for the first week. After that, maybe.
I just meant for
I think he'll figure out something else
Oh.
to do. That's what I'm hoping.
because he always has something with him. So I thought maybe he
but
was lonely or something.
He ate
No.
the egg.
We don't know that.
Oh, okay.
Well, we probably saw the like.
Yeah,
I saw
that's
the
fair.
remnants of it.
But
Yeah, that could have just
yeah.
been from battle.
yeah.
Scrambled eggs happen.
He doesn't have his egg friend. No.
No, he
we didn't
doesn't.
check.
I like the
Yeah.
box
Yeah, you
idea.
didn't. I don't know if anybody went through my pockets, so
No, especially before we turned
would
it
you
into.
feel safe going through my pockets?
Right. We know what kind of shit lives in there.
But I worry about you were encased in tears and we
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to get to your
No.
No, you didn't.
I feel like at some point Argus would have been like, you put in this pocket this, and then this
I
pocket that.
reorganized
Like,
his pockets.
He probably
Right.
labels
I'm gonna
them.
start reorganizing Zendek's pockets.
We did cover the fact that you were able to like get his bag,
Yeah,
and his
but-
other stuff, but like the stuff that was on his belt and in his pockets, you didn't. He
Yeah,
just
no,
kinda
no.
still was encased.
I think we're gonna take out the door.
Switching the
While
stuff
they're
that's in his
figuring
pockets.
Stuff, I'm gonna reorganize his stuff in his pockets.
Oh, he's gonna hate you. He's gonna reach in like looking for a weapon and pull out bubble gum, and he's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
all right,
So we're gonna pull out the
they're
door
gonna be
and
more alphabetized.
Pull
they're
out-
gonna be
We're gonna-
organized by usability.
Alphabetized by genre, name of the item, what type of damage it does.
What he uses it for? It's gonna.
pull out the door. Put
It's like
him
me
in
looking
there.
at Noelle's phone. I just like, how do you function with
That's
this
the
organization?
point.
She has it organized by how each app makes her feel.
No,
And I'm like, what the fuck?
it's not
Does
how
this
it
bring
makes-
joy?
And they're all like, every folder is
I
named.
don't delete.
Every
it.
folder is like a
This
sentence.
goes in the folder.
that's a weird way to do
The
Tinder.
It's
The name of every like group or folder is like a sentence long pun, and I'm like, what is going on?
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That really
you.
is.
As long as the pun then relates to what the apps
It
are,
does.
then that's perfect.
It totally does.
All right, so we're gonna take the door out of the box
Yeah,
and put Zemdek upside down in the box.
why
Not upside down.
What box?
He's
Well, it
not
doesn't
the
really matter
bad.
what
Folding
folding
box.
the
cube.
folding box.
He's not the bad.
Oh,
He's still
yeah,
a
you could put him
Zemdak.
in there because it didn't bury.
Yeah,
I just wanted.
Do you have a spot available?
we're gonna leave.
Wait, that's why we're taking the door out.
Can we leave him a note in
Just
case
gonna
he
carry
would-
a big old tech door around with you?
No, we're
No.
because we can leave the door
No,
here.
we'll leave
Like
the
yeah,
door
yeah,
here.
because this is our
You're
home
gonna
base.
go up into your rooms.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's try to fast track this just a little bit.
I mean, we had to figure out
I
what
am
to do with
getting
Zemdak.
hungry, so we should totally fast track.
Yeah. Let's try to fast track this a little bit. So you can take the door out. You can put Zemdek in there. Zemdek will eventually wake up in like an hour or two inside the folding box and be.
Can he get
Gonna
out?
leave a note for Zemdak. Be like, we're out grocery shopping. See you soon.
Like pinned to my shirt.
Yeah.
He could attempt to do something like, for example, like disintegrate or something like that. Could get rid of the entire magical item, or something that could damage or destroy a magical item. Would like do the same thing it would for not the whole astral sea being torn up as far as tearing a bag of holding,
Is he
but it could just break the box and have everything.
is he capable of doing that? This is Matt. This isn't Michael. Michael's like. "Nah."
Do you know? Oh, you're asking.
No,
as a
I'm
player?
asking. I'm asking if, in his
is it
feral
actually?
state, is he able to cast?
It's one
All
way
right,
to find
so
out.
try it. No.
Okay, let's go see if we can find someone. In the meantime,
So
All right, so y'all looking for prey. Y'all
Yeah.
looking for dinner? You said you
Slaves,
wanted
I
to
think,
look
is
for.
what we decided.
No, we are not looking for slaves.
You're
Not-
looking
not
for
slaves.
You're looking for
slave
red
owners.
Slave
Slave
owners.
Oh, you're looking for slave sellers, like merchants and
Yeah.
stuff like that, who are doing that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
They signed on. For
No
it.
role required. You are able to find 2 venues that are they're a little bit off the beaten path because this is still a city that's loyal to the previous Primarch, and the previous Primarch intended this to be abolished. So they are a little bit off in the more of the shady corners, but there's still people that are purchasing. It's not like the whole up on the gallows and prodding them out as horrible, like absolutely deplorable. Just it's not that. It's more of just kind of a thieves' cant type of feel of like these people are being sold by others because of the way they're like. It's like, oh, you want some spice? You want some? You need some labor? That type of thing.
You want some spicy labor?
Please, oh God, no.
Depends on who
come
you're
on.
talking to.
A city like this probably has one of those.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, no, I have nothing against sex workers at all. But I don't want to get into that. So these are no role required. You're able to find these people. You can roll an insight check to see whether. Actually, yeah. No, just roll. I'll just roll an insight check. Who's doing it? Who's engaged in
Oh.
this search?
Oh, we
Well,
are, but I am.
all 4 of us are searching, but Argus would be the one making the inside check. I'm just gonna.
You can, if you're helping, then you can just roll with advantage.
I got
Yeah.
a 24.
I'll be
24.
pointing to people.
Yeah.
Do I need to?
Yeah.
If you want
dude.
to. 24. One of the things you're realizing is that you kind of get a undercover cop vibe from one of these people, and you can tell that the fasteners and the bindings on the people that are to be sold are faking it. One of these people is a trap, trying to catch other people to trying to buy
Purchase.
and to, who knows, beat them up, eliminate them, arrest them, do whatever it is they need to do, frontier justice style. Again, this city is loyal to the Primarch and their intentions. The other one does appear to be, just kind of a scumbag. There is this half-orc individual with a pot belly that has a bunch of leather pouches around there. It sticks their thumbs in their leather, like dark brown leather, several belts that go around to try to hide their pot belly by keeping their pants up really high, and has what looks like filed tooth to make them look like artisanal, and has jewelry about, and seems to be well off and still selling these people. Again, a little bit more off the beaten, like in more of the under the shadow of the wall. Yeah. They are like, if you need labor, I have some friends that can help you out.
You have some friends that can help out.
Yes, of course. I have made sure that everyone's in good health. Show them your teeth. That's right, yeah, all in good health. No gingivitis. Hard to come by these days, especially out here. Plenty of water to brush their teeth. Yep.
That's good.
He's plump.
Can we make a contract with you? I mean, I have to make it.
Sure, why don't you come into my office? And he like pulls back the small piece of like a 2-person tent.
We have the box with us.
Yeah, but it can't fill out in a 2-person tent.
No, it cannot.
He did that on purpose.
What if you come into my we get in the tent. What if you come into my office? I cast rope trick and then roll out the box upstairs.
It's not enough room to roll a box upstairs.
You don't
either.
think so?
It needs 6 sides, and each side is a 5-foot square.
Didn't we put him in the box in the rope trick previously?
We did. I thought we did.
In space.
How big is the space in the rope trick? It's only
It
like
doesn't
a 10
just-
foot
it doesn't
diameter.
spec- It
No,
doesn't
the rope
specify.
trick can fit 8 people.
So whatever you
8 people in like a circle.
One
Whatever
on top
you
of each
wanna-
other.
You consider
You could
each
put
person
8
fits a
bodies in
5-foot
there.
square.
All right. I have to put my foot down on this one. I
It's-
have to.
it's
sorry,
just- I'm just
so
asking.
I have to right now set the precedent that there's just not enough room
Okay.
to unfold the folding box in the spot of the rope trick.
All right.
One of the limitations of having the folding box is that it has to be able to unfold in order to be able to do the thing, or it just won't unfold. It senses whether it can unfold or not, magically. you can, who's like, come into your office and you can impress them. They're like, oh, all right. Well,
T will be a little drugged.
Do you want me to ask them?
What?
You want me to ask them
Sure.
to follow us?
Yeah. Oh well.
you sit
Yeah,
down,
after-
some incense
after
is
the-
lit.
The tea. After the tea.
There's some dates served.
I'll stay in the tent below.
That's a good idea.
There's no tent. Oh, you
Yeah,
guys-
yeah,
you
I
guys
still-
go
I'm
up.
not going
I
up.
still cast Sky Lounge. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
With
cool.
but this time the tea's a little drugged.
Can you just do that, or what are you putting into it?
Love.
Drugs.
Mushrooms.
We
Mushrooms.
have some gut buster.
Anti-fascism.
Yeah.
Like it's not anything that would hurt anybody, but it would be like
Do you have drugs?
We
I
have
don't-
gut buster.
we have gut
You
buster.
do have gut buster.
But what can you make in
more
the rope
like
choice? Can you spice it?
It's like it doesn't specify. However, I feel like it would just be
sleepy time. tea.
yeah, something benign enough that it wouldn't be like yeah, chamomile
I
sleepy
can
time
make
tea.
that.
You can make.
I can make chamomile.
Because that's normal
poison
tea.
Oh,
well,
you
it's
can
not
create-
magical.
You, do you have any? question?
Trishani usually has
Not, you guys aren't using arcane, right?
no. Trishani usually has tea in there anyway, but this time it would be chamomile.
Okay, so
very
it's sleepy time tea, so it's a holistic sleep aid.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then just
I mean-
oh yeah, I'm comfy. I
Doubt
want to
this
follow
person's
what,
gonna fall asleep from it, but go ahead. Let's see what happens with the dice. Let's see how. I'm gonna have you roll a performance check to see how sleepy in this conversation you can sound like David Attenborough as a nature documentary in order to lull somebody to sleep. That might be
Fuckery.
an only personal experience shared by Noel and I.
fuckery. Can
Yeah.
I? And so, I learned how to belly dance doing this, and then try to like dance,
Hypnotize.
Can I
hypnotize, dancing using blades.
You can do something, yeah.
Can I give her bardic inspiration from being down, or do I actually have to? Be
You
in
can't
the-
cross the threshold, but you can give it to her before she goes up because the last 10 minutes.
Okay, so now you have a little torch.
No spell or ability is going to cross the threshold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you have a little torch floating around your head with my bardic inspiration.
There's like this little, like
Mod
mote
of
of light,
inspiration.
little
Yeah.
tiny torch.
All right, I just start doing that to be like,
mod?
oh,
Oh,
I need
this-
help. Yes,
Is it a lot
yes.
or moat?
This tea's so good. I feel like I need to dance
I-
right
Yeah.
now. I just want to dance. Screw
Wasn't
guys
sure.
tonight. I just want to dance.
What are you? Is D6 or D8?
D8.
Ha. Okay.
I love how you're trying to tea and dance this guy to sleep. Nobody has the
And
sleep
it's
spell.
is it ability check?
Well, I have a suggestion, but I want to see if this works first.
Yeah.
Well, no, hold on. Because of the moat, when you roll, you can add it to the ability check. You can do it again and choose which roll you want to use.
So advantage?
That's what it looks like, yeah. I
So
don't
as
know why
long
they
as-
just didn't say gives you
Yeah.
advantage. But
So as long as the thing is around.
once she uses it, it pops and
I understand. So when you give inspiration, they
This-
have advantage on all. They have advantage on all ability checks until they decide to use the inspiration.
right. Or if it's an attack roll, or if it's a saving throw, there are different abilities with it.
Cool.
So performance check with the inspiration and a little note is 24.
24.
Oh, you're so sleepy. You're so sleepy. Look at look at the
So comfortable.
So it's the music's so great. Just
Fingers of sleepiness. Fingers of sleepiness. You're going into a trance. Fall into a trance. You got it. So this guy's like, that's pretty.
it's good, right? So,
That's pretty. He starts to lay down his.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's really pretty.
You get to choose.
You remind
which
me of
bardic
my
dice
ex-wife.
You roll. You roll the D8 twice and figure out which one you use.
the D8 twice, not
Yeah.
the.
Oh, you have advantage on the
On
inspiration.
Yeah, so
Oh.
you can
Ability
roll the
check.
yeah.
Okay, I'll use the first then.
Don't worry about it. We'll do it next time. I don't
Okay,
wanna fuck
all
with it.
right, thank you.
Just to clarify.
I mean, we're just trying to feed somebody right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, dude falls asleep. Dude says you remind him of his ex-wife and falls asleep.
All right, well, with
I'm
that
not sure if
note.
that's a good
Oh,
thing.
yeah, I don't care.
Anybody who says that, not great.
All right, so
You guys down there, he left them alone, just kind of tied up. His friends.
We're good. Let them go. Let them that go. Let them go. Let them come up here. I don't have to be up here.
So we just open the box out in the middle of the street.
I mean, I don't.
Do we have anywhere else we can go?
It's about this time, Zemdak, that you wake up in your room.
In your
in the
room.
box.
Oh yeah, in the box. Oh no.
Yeah.
You're in like a sensory deprivation chamber, except you feel the hard back of something, and it's pitch black. But you can see.
A note.
You just see other stuff that's a note. There's a note.
Yeah, we left them a note.
You left
did.
a note
We did.
on the opposite
No,
side of
no,
it.
We're like going grocery
Yeah.
shopping.
You're like really hungry, but
No, like
It's a menu.
in your skin, isn't it? It's not.
No,
no,
it's
they
on his
pinned a note to like
clothing.
my shirt.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. What does the
we're
note
not
say?
that barbaric.
What does the note say?
Do you love me?
Going
shopping.
grocery shopping. We'll be back soon. Sorry.
Did falling asleep break me out of my feral state?
It broke you out of the without
Frenzy.
agency. Yeah,
Yeah.
the frenzy.
Yeah.
But you're still very hungry.
Right.
Okay, let's.
It would take somebody.
Do I just
Some
open
blood.
it here
It
or?
would take a shark-smelling blood type of
Yeah,
thing.
I mean,
To
what else?
switch back, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
Valuable, some valuable shit.
wait. Why don't we just? Can we? What if I turn him into something else? We take him back to the place, and then we give them back him.
Yeah. No, that's 'cause I thought we were gonna
Sure.
bring someone back, and
Okay.
so yeah, that's
Yeah.
All right. How about the little cockroach? I feel like it's appropriate.
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that'll work.
Yeah, cockroach.
Polymorph.
Yeah,
jar,
No,
take him
save.
down.
It's fine.
Shake it.
It's just dude cockroach now.
No, you don't shake it. You might get hurt.
Yeah.
It's a cockroach. Nothing kills those things.
They take a point of damage and he pops back.
I shake the box.
It's
Don't-
stuck in a box. Or stuck
Well,
in
they
a-
can just grab the cockroach.
Yeah, let's go. It's
You
a
just
sleeping cockroach.
Grab cockroach. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sleeping cockroach. Not even doing the thing. Yeah, you're able to. What do you do with his friends?
Oh, you know
Cut
what?
loose.
I need you to help me by being your own free persons. So go do that. Okay? What's it say?
We broke
Oh,
it.
yeah. We'll take care of that.
Lockpicker.
We'll take care of that in a little bit, okay?
We'll come back tonight.
Do you want to? Here, you need to follow me so that you can help me out. Yes?
They kind of all look at each other. Tented roll persuasion check.
Can you guys talk?
You can talk freely. I'm not very persuasive.
It's not hard.
It's really not good.
We're helping.
Oh yeah, you're helping. Yeah.
Come on.
Log should make this. 10.
That's the DC.
Thank God.
They kind of look at each other and shrug and just follow you. Like they assume you purchased them, as much as you can tell. They follow you back to the room. You're able to, via all your magic and abilities and strength, at some point be able to remove their manacles and get rid of them and say like, "Go,
We take the key off of the guy.
go,
Yeah.
live." And they
You
say
guys
like,
cockroach it no.
they grab your hands and say, "Thank you," and they leave.
Yeah.
Out of here. Take a couple things on the way out. Take some like proper clothes and other things.
They're
and-
stealing. Do we get to feed to them now?
No. No.
I assume you let them take.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would
oh.
compensate
They're
Vlad.
not like badly dressed because they're trying to look
Yeah.
like they actually are friends, but they're like grab some like food and other things.
We
and-
compensate Vlad
Michael's
at some
still
point
trying to
for
figure
if there
this
was anything that was
It's all complicated.
okay. So
you
then,
do notice Argus on the way out. Shade appears to hand each of them 2 platinum.
2 platinum?
Yeah,
That's not
Shade
gonna
has
make
an
'em
insane
targets.
amount of money.
That's
She was for a very long time funded by the most powerful organization.
Yeah,
in the world.
somebody.
You could use gold out of my
Yeah, I know. That's
power,
That's-
my
that's like-
coin purse, but I can't afford.
Shade's
platinum.
got it.
I try to get in line.
They could buy a house with that much money.
Can I try to get in line, so I get
You don't notice.
some platinum too.
You try to get in line, and Shade looks at you, and pushes you again away with your pole.
Uses the butt end of the side. And
Yeah. It's not the butt end; it's the blade.
Yeah,
it's just the top. Yeah, she's like, no, I want to keep my blade next to you.
He's figuring me out. All right, let's go on. Lock Zendak.
Yeah, unlock Zemdak, open the jar, tell Zemdak, here
All right, just
you
be
go.
ready for when he pounces.
Just throw him
like,
into the
I
jar.
mean, we can just tell him from outside the room. Yeah.
The cube barely fits in this room, but yes, you can open it.
All right.
all right, Zemdak, just we're gonna let you out now. Stay calm.
Can he hear you?
Someone's got the cockroach in their hand. Okay,
All right.
Zemdek, you're out.
Throw it.
We got
Squish this cockroach.
we've
We got you this
we've got
bug.
in there.
You come out of darkness, hold a as like weird things. As gravity changes a bunch of times,
idea what
and then
you're
you come
doing.
out of darkness, and you're just there, stuck to the part of supine on it before you're able to stand up. And Argus is like,
We
"Here, suck this cockroach."
two of us still, two of us still have wounds.
Between the time I spent in Tacona,
Uh-huh.
the monkish city, and the time we spent with Willow,
The one at the bottom of the endless stair. Yeah.
what I have heard, like, picked up the possibility of like meditation, of like,
It's good music.
I'm
for that.
I'm not saying I know how to do it, but like, do I know of the existence of
I'll
like
say
trying to
you know that it exists.
breathe and calm and like find.
You were familiar
peace?
with a handful of other monastic peoples. Nothing that was like you acquaintances. I wouldn't say friends, but acquaintances. I would say that you are aware of it and perhaps maybe the basics of it. You didn't really do it yourself.
No.
That would probably be something that you might want to work on during your downtime to try to do that
Just
type of thing.
like
yeah.
if I'm in that sensory deprivation already, like could I
Mm-hmm.
like use that to like
You could do some breathing techniques. Yeah. Yeah. You could like try.
would we have seen Willow meditate along the few days that she was with
Whenever
us?
she takes a short rest, she does so in
Yeah.
order to recharge her ki. Yeah.
So like I wouldn't have practiced it myself, but I would have like observation data to like
You would have had
try to
observational.
copy.
Yep.
Sure.
You would have seen like how she focuses her breathing and
Try to
keeps
calm
it.
myself down.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Noted.
Okay.
You're let out of the box.
I take it and I say, drop concentration and chuck the cockroach at him and say, dinner time.
You're like
you
trying to. You're trying to. Oh, dinner time.
You just throw a
Hit him with
full-grown
the
person at.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
midway. I'm imagining like your head here, like in the doorway.
Well,
your
we're
head
still
here,
coming, right?
my head here, and being like, all right, here you go, and just like close the door immediately.
Close the door and drop.
No, I throw it.
Throw
She
it and I
drops
forget.
concentration.
And then you close the door with him. So there's a pot belly half orc here. It's like
I mean, I trust these people not to throw me someone terrible.
where am I? Who are you?
Message Zemdek.
Hello.
You can't.
Perfect. Yeah. You just like bite onto his pot belly. He's like, oh, and
I cast silence.
yeah. Yeah. He's like, oh, and then the screams stop.
I'm
You
hungry.
drain this dude fucking dry.
So I guess that's a question,
Sure.
right? I get health back by draining blood.
Yes, mechanics are a bit wonky here. What's your question?
Volume of blood.
The amount that you gain back is
I just like when you say till I'm full, does that mean like volumetrically how
I want
full
you-
I can drink?
right,
Like,
I understand.
or is that
I want you to understand that the precedent of what I'm setting right now is not going to be
Sure.
something that we do
Yeah,
before
yeah.
because this you were just born. Everything is not what's
Right.
not the standard.
the human body contains about 2 gallons of blood? If I drain someone dry, that would not volumetrically fit inside of a gnome.
You are magic.
You're like
You
a bag of
metabolize that
devouring.
blood as almost as fast as you can drink
Okay,
it.
okay.
And that's the thing is like, but you're also, like I said before, you feel starving, but you're not actually hungry.
Right.
Which is why you would gorge yourself and become a glutton and perhaps even swell.
Okay.
Like there is definitely the sense that if you were allowed to just feed and feed and feed, you would become distended to the point where you couldn't move and you
Okay.
could like get hema poisoning. Like,
Sure.
You know,
So
like water poisoning.
it's more of a metaphysical line, not a
Yeah.
actual
Pretty much, if I say
physical-
so,
yeah,
kind
sure.
of line.
Yeah.
I try to have it make sense,
Yeah.
but yeah, right now it's just drank,
Okay.
drank, my dude.
Drain him dry.
Drink.
You drain them dry, yeah. With the silence up, it's great.
when he's done.
You the 10 minutes drop as it's because it lasts for 10 minutes, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
it lasts
we
for
can-
10
Yes,
minutes.
because
You
I
just
have
hear,
to
like,
constantly cast.
I mean, we can talk to him. We could just send them a message and be like, "Are you full, buddy?"
You can't respond back.
I mean, you could say something.
I can tell
You can.
telepathically,
You
dude.
have agency. I mean, like
he's in
you
silence.
feel good.
If
I
it's silent,
can
I can
talk to
speak.
him.
I
Okay,
mean, after
there
the
you-
10 minutes, after you
Yeah.
like kind of finish up and you're like, you feel good. You go out always. You got that dessert tummy though. You could always go for more. But you have agency right now. Nice.
How much HP did that man have?
We'll just say that you gain back 25 hit points.
Okay.
You're dead. I can't heal you.
We
You
can
never
eas-
know. You never know when I need that information.
We can
fair.
easily.
Yeah, it might be a little arbitrary moving forward just because
Yeah.
when you actually feed, it's like I might just have you roll some stuff, but for now, it's fine. Okay, you feel good. You could always eat,
Yeah.
but you feel like you have enough agency at the moment to not like feel
control
like you need to
myself.
bite these two.
Prestidigitate.
Get all of it. Yeah, comes out. It's a murder scene in there. It's just everywhere. It's all over the place. Zemdek's just blood all down his leather, all just his beard, because he has a beard.
Right,
now.
you still have-
his
yeah.
beard is all encrusted with the coagulated, and it's. I mean, you prestidigitate to yourself and get rid of all of it. You prestidigitate the room. You start cleaning up the room. There's still this like.
It's sort of like
emaciated,
that,
gaunt body now there.
like, after, like, clarity after the fact, right? Like,
Oh, you post nut clarity? Yeah, sure.
I'm glad you said it, not me.
I was trying to find a different way to say it.
It's all right. We're all adults here.
But I sort of come to myself.
You come to yourself?
He
Quite
drained
generous.
the man dry.
Did you drain a man dry?
I did.
I will. I will actually
Return
spend
to full
a-
sanity. Realize what had happened.
I would say full sanity, but yes, you are self-aware.
And I start cleaning everything up.
There is a freshly desiccated corpse there.
Yeah.
I will cast a second level spell slot so I can do this again today, and I will sing into creation a bib and give it to you.
Oh my god. Is it a leather bib?
Sure,
Okay.
just for next time.
This was a rather portly individual. You think you guys are okay. We'll see.
Is it still daylight outside?
Yes.
You said there were sunbeams coming in through the windows.
We're not going to leave you into a sunbeam.
No,
I don't think I think they put something out
Shuttered
there,
it.
Yeah.
There's no shutters, but they could have taken any one of the tapestries
Blanket.
or blanket. And,
Trishani would have put 2 and 2 together on that one.
oh,
with Vlad
yeah.
being like,
guys, this is given. You guys are stupid. Come on. As much as you act like it.
There's time. You make us say things
I do.
to remove
Is
the
there
assumptions.
a fireplace or anything in this room?
Oh, that's
No,
nice.
there's not a
smell.
fireplace in a tower with rooms right above it. No, there are not.
could be stone.
Did the guy have anything
It's not.
on
It's
it?
a limestone tower, but no, there's no
Right.
fireplace.
Is it stealing if now we take it off the husk?
No.
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 There are like
Okay,
iron.
good.
There
I
are
don't
like
want Zemdek
cast
to
iron
eat
pot
me.
bellies that go out the window. That let like you could put a fire into it, and that
Yeah,
radiates
but I
and heat the
don't have
room.
enough there to burn a body.
Meckel
Not
starts.
big enough,
Meckel starts going through the trader's stuff.
I see.
Oh
Does he
yeah,
have
cool.
anything of-
Yeah, you
That
want
was
you
my
want to loot you want to loot the douchebag?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not if you put it that way.
I mean, he's
No,
trash.
looting an actual douchebag
Trash.
would
Yeah.
be really fun.
Trash. Like one of the worst things you could ever do is try to sell another person. So yeah, trash. Absolute trash.
He is
Um,
trash.
The
He has magical keys.
He had like 15 belts and
yeah, bro. Looks like he has 178 gold on him, with a handful of silver, but looks like 42 silver. Some copper, but we don't do that. And
anymore.
I just
First
throw
level
out
was
the copper.
Right.
We're in the
for
maw.
copper.
You said 47.
Do we have to
silver?
worry about him
42.
waking back up?
That's why we should
I could
burn.
gentle repose him, and then we can put him in the box.
Nice check.
We should.
Semdak.
Yeah.
I will gentle repose him.
Wait, if he gets back up, can you eat him
Oh,
again?
Can you
No.
roll, can you roll a
He's
con save though?
dead.
I want to see if he got turned. Because it's still of day one. Still day one.
Right, but if I outright kill them by draining them, didn't
Yeah,
Vlad
they're-
say that was safe?
Well, you were dead and you were turned.
Con save?
But he said eliminate and annihilate. He didn't say kill.
That's right. Yeah. 18 though.
18, you're fine.
Bit down hard.
I will still
Anything else?
gentle repose him so that he can't be turned undead.
And we
Nice.
have a few more days until we can make a bonfire.
Anything
So
else
put
on
him
the
in
guy?
box. No, then we have to
Any
go
of
for
those
box.
belts?
Money,
Door,
there does
yeah.
appear to be what looks like
Not much blood.
Wait, what,
You know,
is the
that
floor
several
stone?
pairs of manacles.
Is the floor stone or is it
You can have
wood?
like five
just
pairs of
bonfire,
iron
right?
manacles.
Okay.
Limestone
That's
floor.
about it.
Limestone.
Everything else
But
is
that
kind of
would- that would be
decorative unless you
weird.
want to
Where's
use
the smoke go?
jewelry,
Yeah.
but nothing that looks. It
I don't
looks
have
kind
that
of
would look
gaudy
a little
jewelry.
weird.
Nothing like.
Oh, there, we'll open a
colorful
window.
anything.
Yeah.
Because that won't look weird.
Why does it smell like a barbecue?
You know.
Well, I mean, he does smell like burning hair, so those.
Oh,
things
I take the
together-
hands.
The Rither, like,
I don't know what
You
I
know-
expected.
You know, if you,
Sanguinated.
What you
Yeah.
expected.
if you wanted to, we could probably fast forward at this point because
Yeah,
we're just going to do
let's
the
do it.
same thing.
Okay, you're okay for the first day. You're going to have to feed for the next 6
It was
days.
still day now, correct? Like this
Yeah.
was morning.
I'm saying for day as in
No,
24
no,
hour period.
yeah.
Because
Do I feel tired after staying up?
That is a very good point. I'm going to tell you this now. For the first 7 days of you being, you
Yeah.
cannot sleep
Okay.
because you have nothing but adrenaline and feed in your brain. As far as like long rests, you cannot take a long rest. But in this in this scenario only, you're not suffering exhaustion from staying up.
Okay.
Because this is just a thing that
Yeah.
needs to happen. This is nature pushing itself. Your body is trying to find a state of balance, and it is fucking intense. So you're fine. You don't need to sleep, but that means also you cannot gain the benefits of a long rest
Okay.
over the course of the next 6 days.
so you can't level. That's
No. That's just a thing.
If
for
I'm
me.
good for the first
Yeah.
full day, like that first night,
Mm-hmm.
still in control, can I try and stay ahead of it and do my own hunting?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah. You can do so. Let's do this, and then we'll move
Said
forward.
we have to choose dirtbags.
Oh yeah. I'm,
it's all a test. We would have told you when you were cogent anyway.
stealing is sometimes okay.
I think you guys know me well enough to know I'm not just gonna like.
You know
murder
your
hobos.
dirtbags.
Well, unless you go feral, we can't.
Yes.
You,
You-
need a buddy.
You need the buddy. We
Okay.
always do the buddy system anyway now.
A bike
Yeah.
buddy.
We have to make someone has to go with Semdak, so that he doesn't do anything stupid.
She's just hanging out. with
Everybody
us.
needs a buddy.
It's the cables.
Oh, no. Mishka.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have you. I want you to just roll a stealth check and then a perception check and then an investigation check, just for me, real quick, right
New
now.
level or current level?
No. Just
Can you
current
do it
level.
at advantage because somebody would be with you? Because we're not going to let you go on your own.
Unless you wait until
Okay.
people are asleep to go hunting at night.
I never sleep. I'm sure one of us
You
would
have
always be
to.
awake,
Have to
watching
sleep.
him.
26 stealth. The other was perception.
Does anybody have a higher passive perception than 26 stealth? So then he can sneak away from you if he
No,
wants to.
no. You asked me to make a stealth check.
I know. I'm saying I'm doing that for this endeavor.
Oh.
I'm also saying because you rolled so high, you could, if you wanted to, go off alone and they wouldn't notice.
No, if they want someone to go with me, I would allow one of my friends to stay with me.
Okay.
Who do you choose?
Is Meckel considered
Log.
your friend?
The one with questionable morals.
I mean, you
Exactly
guys
what I was gonna say.
did spend like 2 months in the dreamscape too together
Right.
too. So it's like,
But I mean, as far as sneaky goes, I think Log's well,
'Cause he could just
Trisheni
become a
might be
wolf.
sneakier, but
Yeah.
The log can become a wolf.
Log is
Yeah.
sneaky and
Yeah.
won't
It's gonna be weird when the guards.
Do you want to be? Do you want to be vampire with a wolf companion thing, or do you want to disguise self? type
And
thing?
that too, like I wouldn't be attracted to an animal in this.
Right,
state.
because in that form, you actually are physically that. You are
Right.
not.
That's true.
The humanoid.
So
anymore.
you wouldn't be at danger of me attacking.
So
Yeah.
that's true. So yeah, so then I could just go into wolf form and
That was
It's
very
observe
True.
that
very
way.
good
So
companion.
the town guard is gonna find a couple desiccated corpses without any hands.
So investigation and perception and investigation at advantage. You guys choose which one's rolling it.
This is probably better.
Investigation is a 28.
Okay, perception.
Perception, I'm not as good at. Do you want to do perception?
I don't have any bonus.
Okay.
You're in your
You
wolf
do
form, though.
because of your
Well,
wolf
right,
form.
right. That's true. So I would have, but it's advantage either way.
Hearing. Yeah.
So it was advantage. So it's the
That's
same
true.
no matter which one of us does it.
16.
16.
Perception. So stealth was 26. Investigation was 29.
Okay, just so I can just narrate this all in one go, someone also roll insight. If somebody has any way of being able to read minds or telepathically communicate without them being, without the other person being entirely aware of it,
So just insight.
yeah,
19.
19. Okay, cool. So here's what happens.
Advantage on that one?
No, it's fine. Just because you can't help him with that.
Yeah.
So here's what happens. You, over the course of this week, it's going to be spread out. We're going to talk about the other things that you guys do.
Yeah.
But tonight, what you are able to find is that there is a group of, they think they are undercover ascendants, members of the Order of Ascendancy that show
Okay.
up here to try to,
Yeah.
do what it is that they're supposed to do, and try to surreptitiously engage in before they get a chance to actually proselytize and try to convert this town, whether by force or by hearts and minds. You are able to discern that that's what these people are.
Okay.
They dressed up to make sure that they could be allowed into this fortress stealthily, but you're able to discern that that's what these people are. There are a couple of Ma'itan here, a human, and a dwarf here. There are about 6 individuals here. You are able to see where they set up camp within the walls this night, and are able to also know that they are all asleep at this moment.
It's very close to how that's like the exact group that we came in with.
Yep.
Because he was being her sister.
Yep.
So it's a couple Mahitans, a human, and a dwarf.
Parallel reality.
So you see yourselves.
The parallel version of ourselves.
You were sent back in time.
Just throwing that out there.
And I feed off of them.
You are able to, because of your perception checks, able to listen in on their nightly prayers, which are full of a lot of very fascist, cold, unforgiving, murderous, like totalitarian, racist. Like there's a lot of these like real bad stuff. These people are either fully indoctrinated or actually believe this stuff and will do it by any means necessary.
Could be one and the same.
They seem extremely devout, which is probably why they're the people that were sent here. They also don't have any qualms about doing whatever means necessary in order to try to take over this town. They are able to fall. You are able to be here stealthily once they fall asleep. You know, because of what Vlad said, Log. Hopefully, I think you remember that he needs fresh blood every day, fresh from the source. Meaning that if you intend to take these people and eat them, you can't drink one now because you're already full. You could if you want to, but you could make this last for the rest of the week. But you need to keep them alive in some way.
Yeah.
And like keep them captive pretty much as blood bags. If that's what you wanted to do. In order to feed Zemdak.
I mean,
It's
nobody's
getting
gonna
dark, fuck.
nobody's gonna ask questions back at where we're staying.
No.
So-
Vlad, it's locked down, man.
Don't forget, Locke, that you have silence.
Yeah. So if Log and I like tie them all up in their sleep, and like take them back to the hotel that we're staying at,
All of them have chamomile.
You can, if you want. You want to like bind and gag them, that type of thing.
Trying to think of how we can transport them.
I have 5 sets of manacles that I got off the slave trader.
You do.
Yeah.
I would have had
You
one
can do that.
set of manacles too.
You do have
Animal.
silence. You can cast it on an item if I remember. Oh no, that's darkness.
But I mean,
Yeah.
like.
But I do have
manacle-
darkness.
Manacle gag.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna say here? Why don't y'all just both roll stealth check and both roll sleight of hand check to see if you can get them all bound in their sleep and see if you can get them back stealthily.
This is
And
all
we'll
pre-level up, right?
Yeah, and we'll just say you use your bullshit of like spells and all other shenanigans in order to get them back safely if you roll really well.
Oh.
He seems happy.
Natural
He does
20
that.
on stealth
Oh,
for
there
a
you go.
27.
What'd you get on stealth?
So my stealth was 16, but I got a nat 20 on my sleight of hand for a 22.
I got a 17 on my side of hand.
You guys,
This team.
just roll them up in their own tents.
Zemdak
Right,
turns
get
to
back
Log, and Log turns to Zemdak with this like look on their face. You see Zemdak lick his lips and his fangs get a little bit, and he smiles a little bit bigger.
And Log does too. I mean,
And
let's be
Log does
honest.
too.
Yeah.
With the wolf, with Wolf Log, and then you just do that whole real men walk towards explosions kind of walk as you go into the tent, and then it fades to black, and then you find that all of them are like in one of the rooms up there as the door shuts, and we're like, well, we've got food in the larder now.
Can I
What's up?
say that during that time, Trishani would have been like, "Can you believe that we're the strict ones?" And just passes something to drink with Argus, and like the rest of the day, just like whatever.
How many things do we
So
do?
your
I
feeding
know.
schedule,
I
as long
know.
as you're
Come
able
on,
to
look,
have time.
know.
Sorry. As long as you're able to have time to come back to the tower and be able to drain these people dry each day, you're fine. That's taken care of.
I collect all the hands.
Yeah, we're gonna do okay.
hands?
Now we're gonna take a break. We'll be back in a little bit. That's all for this episode of Argent Flame from Dice of Ages, CrestVahllen. We love you very much. Stay safe out there. Bye.